it.
Oh shit.
Andy's gonna have to rap over this.
Do you have any viewers?
Do we have anybody?
Am I there?
Sure. Yo, Stacey's
There's one
watching.
viewer.
It's Stacey.
I'm gonna start off with Live from the Apollo. What?
Start already?
Okay, we're gonna start it off now.
Yeah, we
Live from the Apollo System Crash Podcast. We got ourselves some special guests today. We got Daniel from episode 2. We got Rebecca. We got Andy, and we got Ricky. What are we gonna talk about today?
Sydney, start us
Oh,
off.
I'm not
Sydney
here.
started off.
I'm not here.
Sydney's not here today because he's a
Oh,
dumbass.
what do you want to start off with? Well, I have a very sensitive topic, if you know what I'm talking about. Prostates. Have you ever got it done on you yet?
You have to be fucking
You have to be like
Have you gotten prostates done on you?
Yeah.
You have them implanted.
Just
not
thrown
every
at you.
time, right?
Do you have them?
Have some prostates.
You don't-
prostates.
Why? What's got you so
Confuses me about
jazzed about
prostate
it?
exams when like guys like they complain about getting them when really the guy who should be complaining is the doctor because he's
It
the
depends.
guy.
It
He's the
depends.
guy that's shoving his hands up another
Yeah,
guy's
but
ass,
he could
right?
get a sexual thrill out of that. He, like, if anything, he should be paying
Yeah,
you.
yeah, but he can.
You know, in some
think about it like
cases.
this: the doctor went to like 8 years of schooling
Sure.
in university
To shove
his
his
hands up
yeah.
your ass.
That's true.
And get paid boatloads for it.
Yeah.
Fuck, like, would
Like,
you
is it
shove your
worth
hand
it?
up a guy's ass
Is
for
it
like
worth it?
thousands of
No.
dollars?
Even if
You
you're
would
wearing
do
a
it?
glove, no.
With gloves on.
With gloves, no.
Who does it raw?
And you have to
I
know
would
what
do
you're
it
looking
raw.
for.
You would
have
do
to
it
know what
raw.
you're
Do it
looking
right
for
now
too.
for free.
Truth or dare, just make me do it. That's fine.
But
No,
you
I
have to
think
know what you're doing too, right? Like you have to be like
I'm
you have to be
wondering,
like a
what do they
professional
feel for?
fingerer. You have to be a
Bump
professional
Bump
fingerer.
size.
Like,
You got
there's
breast
some kind of
exam?
No, but
lumps.
like, I mean, what if like you just have a weird looking anus? Like, I mean,
A weird
like,
looking anus?
I don't know. Like, it just seems weird that they're like, oh yeah, you got prostate cancer.
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy for them. Like, just from like that's not even
Years
that
of
deep.
years
I
of
mean,
experience.
Like, if you,
Wait,
have you
wait.
ever watched porn? Come
do they
on,
feel-
like, there's like a whole tract, like a whole road to go
whole new-
down.
Wait, they feel for roundness or what?
I don't know.
So
Like,
you have,
did they
you have
do
that's
this?
a prostate, okay.
Did
It has to be
I don't know
relatively
if it's
smooth,
covered.
maybe.
Actually, is it covered?
In Canada,
Yeah.
probably it is.
A
So
prostate
let's ask
exam,
her.
Is it covered?
I don't
Who
think
does
so,
it?
because gynecology exams aren't covered.
Oh, there you go. So
Yeah, which
anything.
is technically worse because it's somebody you don't even know, like looking at your inside.
Well, the doctor you don't know either.
Have you seen the thing that they shove out your vagina? It's like that, okay?
Oh,
Greg
My
has seen
vagina.
it. Greg
Wow.
has seen it.
My
So what if
vagina.
you-
Well,
My vagina.
You don't. No.
Wait,
it's,
is it-
It's
is it
cold
possible
and it's metal
to-
and it's gross.
Wait, is
I
it-
mean, some chicks would be into that, right?
No.
No, there's gotta be some.
Wait,
there's
is-
always there's a fetish out there for
And
everybody.
like 99.9% of the time, it's a male doctor who's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a look and make sure everything's working down there. It's like, thanks. I don't even know
Consummate
who you
professional, all right.
are. No, some of them are not.
He's just looking at anatomy. He's not looking at a female's genitals.
It's true. And like, there's a
Okay.
bigger opening, right? In anus compared to anus compared to vagina, right?
At least
No,
there,
no,
you can see.
this
Yeah.
compared to this.
Well, okay, you could see like the person doing it, right?
this?
If it's in the back, it's like a mystery.
No, because yeah, it's true. I mean, you're pretty much blind. You see a crease, and then you put your hand in it.
Okay, what about-
Here, you got like, you're like, whoa, there's a
It's
whole
like a-
world down
yeah,
there.
it's like a map.
to explore.
It's like a map.
oh, let's go in.
It's just, oh wow, there's cancer.
Hi.
Like, it's easy.
like Narnia.
That's not true because you can't see. Like, okay, if somebody's gonna be like, oh yeah, you have like cancer in your uterus or whatever, they can't see that. 'cause literally,
You have kids in your uterus. We gotta get rid of that shit.
I have like
I haven't
reports in
even
mine.
seen the diagram of it. There's like a
I've
little
seen
thing,
plenty of
and it's, like,
diagrams,
You
okay?
can only go so far.
Well, same with the anus, but even less in a way because
Yo, you can shove
can't
your
even
whole
see.
arm up there.
What? What?
You say you can't do that with an anus? Come on.
You can do that with an anus, but you
Exactly.
can't do it to a vagina.
So you're saying a
There's something
whole
that
meter
actually
stick could
stops
fit up
you.
there?
Oh, I see. I thought you were talking with the other
No.
one.
Wait,
no.
I think we went off
Deep.
track.
That's in your arm.
Nobody does like a whole arm for like a prostate
Only-
exam.
Something's not right.
You don't know what happens behind closed doors.
Only
Like
on
The Rock,
cows.
just The Rock, just
Have you ever seen someone shove their whole arm up like a cow?
Wait, you've shoved your arm up a cow?
Yes.
Oh, that's a
Oh.
cow.
I lived on a farm.
That's
so
true.
you just have to do that
That
like
is a
daily
cow.
procedure, like
No,
just
no, it's just
gotta
like
see if it's all right.
no,
So it isn't.
it's like when you live on a
Actually,
farm and the
that's
vet
okay.
comes
Is
by.
it maintenance?
They have to check. They have to check to see if there's anything blocking the cow's insides,
Oh,
or
yeah.
if there's anything growing in there that probably shouldn't be, because usually you can feel it, which is why they stick your fingers up your butt when they're checking your prostate, because you can feel things, right?
Yeah.
So they would do that on the couch, and sometimes I would help because when I was a little kid, I wanted to be a vet. Now
This
I don't.
conversation just
Okay.
focused
Don't
at
wanna stick
Ricky.
my arm up a cow ever again.
I was like, how did you know?
Yeah, what were you gonna say?
You know how I like always ask these what ifs, right? Right. One of them was like, what if a doctor like was giving you a prostate exam and they put their whole hand up there, right? And they're feeling your prostate and they just grab as much as they can and pull it out of you.
I don't know what you'd have a
what's in
lawsuit
there?
on
I
What's
think
your
at
hands.
some
I
point,
don't know.
I think at
How's that
some
in there?
point you would feel the void fill in, and
Is
you'd be
the
like,
prostate
"Something's not right."
Is the prostate like close to your genitals?
Yeah.
I would hope so. If that's what I mean. Otherwise, you're just getting an excuse.
No,
to
it's
stick
nowhere
your
near your
fingers in.
butt. It's in
Mine's
your
my
chest.
chin.
It's completely irrelevant, actually. The anus.
So what would it grab? What would it grab? Would it grab like?
He would grab like the duodenum.
Do what?
He would like turn it inside out, basically, I guess, and make like haggis.
Inverted anus,
Like,
kind of.
Yeah, it would be like the pro. Have you ever heard like anal prolapse? That
Oh,
happens-
yeah.
It happens in
That
porn.
is
It
great.
happens in porn a lot.
What happens?
When
Oh,
like
it's just
it
basically
flips,
yeah. you get
Insides go out.
How does that happen?
just
too
a
much
lot of
pounding.
Pounding?
penetration.
Punching of the anus.
Penetration. Okay.
It just
Sometimes
gets bruised.
even a really like tough shit can do it. I'm not kidding. Sometimes I get scared. I think that's gonna happen.
I don't know. I think my
and I
anus is
feel it,
pretty
and I'm like,
strong.
no, not now, not now.
How do you know, Greg?
I think my anus is pretty strong. I
Mine
took
is strong.
like explosive
like
shits in the
if you
toilet.
like honestly, I eat like a lot of vegetables, and it helps you with your shitting.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
the fiber.
Yeah,
like,
fiber.
Because like you know when you have like a broccoli
I don't
or
take
like
vegetables,
celery or like carrots, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna have a good shit today.
Yeah,
but if you
it
had
feels
like
good.
Burger King or something, you're like, okay, well, I've already agreed.
That's
I've
that's
already
his
agreed
whole
for
meal.
hell in my asshole. Even
yeah.
like with like
And then you feel like a fat fuck as well.
Yeah.
It's just unpleasant.
I told you the story about the bananas, right?
Oh,
just
yeah.
go
It's
out.
because we
bananas a day.
We had like 4
I
bananas
didn't shove
a
them
day.
up my ass, okay? But last week,
This is a great story for you.
I don't like bananas.
well, yeah, last week, right? I had like bananas left over from the week after, week before. It was like 5 bananas, right? And then my mom bought me 2 more bunches of bananas, right? And she's like, you gotta eat them all before reading week. So it was like 20 bananas I had to eat, right? So it was 4 bananas a day. And I would have to fart like all the time. It was horrible. I'd shit twice a day, and every time there was stuff coming out.
And every time there's stuff
Stop.
coming out.
Like,
That's
what's
a big thing,
I don't
actually.
know.
oh like
That's
liquidy?
disgusting.
Like liquidy?
No, like,
Like you have a real
While you
shit.
fart?
No, like shit.
Yeah.
While
There's a
you-
difference between going to the bathroom for a shit
Oh, I don't
and
take-
actually like taking
I don't
a
like-
shit.
like, you know
a
when you-
real
when you
shit.
know
You
when
can
like-
feel the pounds leave your body.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
lighter after you're like, wow, I could like go
I don't
and do
feel
anything
lighter.
I want now. Like I can become a doctor. Like it's just I
Yeah.
can feel
I can be a doctor.
I
took a shit, I can be a doctor.
you can do anything now.
Yeah, like you have no limits.
Inspiring.
I could cure cancer right now.
And literally, like
It's like
if
the
you go
first
on
time
a
I watched the Beatles.
if you go on a scale after, you actually see like a decrease in weight. It's,
Yeah,
That's what you
I
eat.
lost like 5 pounds after
Oh my
taking
God.
a shit.
it's shocking.
I thought I had worms.
Yeah.
Like my brother, he fucking the other day he was telling me and he was like amazed. He was just like, Danny, I think I broke the laws of physics. I took a huge shit and I gained weight. That was actually such a mind fuck. He gained 2 pounds after shitting. Like what? How does that work? How does that actually
Is
work?
it more
No.
dense?
Did he eat?
And
in
that's
the
what I'm wondering. Like,
bathroom?
what's the density of shit and like?
Uh,
it-
What
4.5.
if like he took such a large shit, like his muscles, like
his muscles
It was like steroids.
the most jacked
You wanna be
rectum you'll
jacked?
ever
You
find.
want to be Jack? Just take a huge shit.
You can do anything now.
It was a full abdominal workout.
I had a 6-pack afterwards.
Which constipation.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like he lost mass, but he gained weight. That's what happened. That's crazy.
Sometimes-
So contradictory.
You ever just like you have like a fart and you just hold it in and you wait for like a giant explosion and then you like almost shit your pants? You ever had that?
It happens a lot.
Isn't it liquidy?
Yeah, it
It's
feels
liquidy.
like it should be wet.
Yeah.
And then
I don't
you
even
feel
know.
there because obviously you gotta feel. You can just stick your hand there
I don't stick my
in
hand in.
public.
Did I just?
And it's just like, What happened?
I never risk it, right? Because something might come out by accident.
No, I usually draw it out. I play like a note for like a good 5 minutes.
Note to self: don't shit when you feel like it.
Ever feel happy when you like really have to shit and you know it's gonna clear a lot of stuff?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
One time I had that, it's just a huge fart. I hate when that happens.
Oh, yeah.
I've been
You're
tricked.
just like, nah, that did nothing for me. Still.
But I want to stay here for longer. Maybe something.
It's like a pleasure, just like masturbation.
That's when you get comfortable. You get a magazine and you're just good for a couple hours.
You guys have any stories when you are taking a shit
Oh.
and like something really alarming happened to you while taking a shit? For me, sometimes
My dad called
I got one for this. It even happens now. Sometimes when I take a shit, I'll feel like I'm passing out.
Passing out.
Like
That doesn't
I'll get
happen to
tunnel vision, and I'm like,
Wait.
whoa, I gotta like wipe or something. So I finish wiping, I half wipe because I'm like passing out, and then I try to pull up my pants, but they're just at my ankles. Like fuck,
Do you collapse?
Do you eat like a lot of?
Like
and
your
then,
legs
and,
like
then,
wobbling.
and then I just lie on the bed and I pass out. and I
down.
passed out. No joke, pants still down, and I just fucking passed out. And like 10 minutes later, I wake up. I'm like, what the hell happened?
My ass hurts and my pants are down.
Well, that's close to Coleman.
I just got raped by an invisible man.
Yeah, that's what happened to Coleman. He was like in music. He was playing the trombone, right? And he really had to shit, right? So he went to the washroom. He was like drunk or something. He almost passed out.
Oh, and like he was like crawling on the
Yeah,
floor, right?
Everything was fading to black, and he almost didn't make it to the washroom.
He crawled his way to the bathroom.
Sometimes
the
we
halls of
imagine
school.
what would happen if he didn't make it to the washroom and just passed out in the hall.
People just find you in the most undignified position.
I think he's already undignified.
Oh, God.
Okay.
That's not the way to go.
Already at 0 viewers now.
We still have one
Still got
faithful
one.
viewer.
We still have one
It's Stacy.
that can take all the
Someone
dirty
that
talk.
can
We don't do
actually
it for the
stick with
viewers.
us.
Do it for the viewers. All of our viewers are here right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How many Desmond?
Oh, it does probably.
Is that not Desmond?
No,
That might be
no,
Desmond.
Could be
Desmond.
Desmond.
I know it's not
Cardio.
Coleman because it's like
He's taking a shit right now. He's probably passed
No,
out.
he's probably
right
passed
now.
out on his
Yeah.
way to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
On his way to the computer. Piece of shit.
Well, for people who don't know, Coleman's a friend of ours.
Friend, yeah,
Really
acquaintance.
I don't know
friend.
him.
We
I don't
should, we
know.
should talk about him for a little bit.
He's very interesting.
he is the most interesting man alive.
You know when I tell stories about Coleman,
yeah, you
like
do it in his voice.
I think everybody does.
and like you remember when we were telling to like Paula's friends about like him and like his grandmother died, right?
Yeah.
And like they were like
Let's be clear, Coleman is not dead. We're not that
Our
bad.
friend Coleman, he died.
like we were like saying it as a joke, right? Not about his grandma dying, right? But like they were laughing, right? They were taking it seriously. And like, you know, when they like, you know, when you like don't have context, it just doesn't work for like a story.
They
Like,
don't know
like right
how
now.
Coleman is.
Kind of
Oh, yeah,
makes
'cause
you're
sense.
the
Yeah,
person.
Go
Yeah.
on.
So the story was that his grandmother died, right? And then when we asked him about like how it was, like the funeral and everything, he's like, "Oh, it was great."
That's great.
They gave me
This is
they gave
one
me
of
all
the
this,
soulless
they
people.
gave,
Oh, the money.
they gave me all this money and everything. And then yeah, he's just like terrible to his grandmother and stuff.
Sometimes I wonder if it's just a show or something. for
Yeah.
him. Like he just. But honestly, like, there's an honesty to it. That was a terrible sentence, but it's like he's actually just an asshole.
Oh, yes, we're going on.
He's actually just a soulless fuck. It's
Oh, yeah.
like I kind of commend him for it. Like I don't know how he does
Even
it.
his
So
mom
blunt.
said so, right?
His mom called him an evil child.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, when your own mother called, and he could give a shit. Like he was just like,
Wait, but his dad called him a really handsome boy.
yeah, it's okay.
Remember that time his mom was lotioning him?
His mom was trying to get him to put on like moisturizer, and he didn't want it, right? So like she would put it on his face, and he's like, "Ah, no, no."
This is on Skype.
Wait,
all
his
of it could be
face.
heard.
Wasn't it on his ass or something?
No,
'Cause-
that's a different story.
Oh.
That was a different
That was a
second.
pimple on his ass, right?
Yeah.
That happened to me once. Like my
Your
mom,
mom had to pull up a pimple on your ass.
like she didn't have to. She just did.
It's okay, Greg. Me too.
Wait, were you there when they were popping it?
No, I wish I was. I heard
He
about
was
it for
still
ages.
on Skype, right? And then like a whole bunch of people come into his room. I don't know why. Like people wanted
It's
to
like
see
a
for some reason, right? So something's happening, right? I don't know what. Suddenly he starts screaming like really loudly. I thought someone was getting like exercised or something, right? And apparently his mom was popping the pimple on his ass.
He was like begging for mercy. Or
yeah.
something.
Wasn't there one when his dad came in and he's like, Coleman, go get a girlfriend.
His dad
No,
comes in
wait,
a
wait.
lot.
Yeah,
There's
that's
that-
hilarious.
There was one time where Coleman was watching anime or something, and then what did his dad say? It was like stop watching little girls or something.
His dad is really straight up. It's funny.
I talked about this with Andy before, right? Like, you know Coleman's voice?
Mhm.
We do it, right? And we're like, oh, that's Coleman, right? But it sounds nothing like
No,
Coleman.
it's
Why do we
his-
associate that
It's
with
his
him?
character. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm a fucking asshole. Like that's just that's how he
Exactly how it
talks to
sounds.
him.
Yeah,
That's
for people who don't know, his voice is like something like this. For some reason, we associate that with
yeah,
Coleman.
every time we talk about it, we bring up that voice.
I think we only start to hear it once he shows the top, like his top jaw and his teeth,
He's
and then he
always
starts going,
smiling.
and his shoulders go up.
that
Like a praying
image of
mantis?
him.
Yeah, like his hands in front of him like this.
The Mr. Burns, really.
Yeah, he looks like Mr. Burns.
He does. He does.
Or he looks like his grandma too. It reminds me.
I don't know what his
Was
grandma.
that time his
Looks
grandma
like-
walked into you in the washroom?
No, I walked into her.
Let's get it straight.
You
I was
reversed the
interested.
stories. Like I
She was interested too. I'm not gonna.
I needed to go to the washroom, right? So then I went downstairs. The door was open, kind of.
So no one can be in there,
Like
right?
the light was open too, but I didn't know, right? I walk in there and she's in there. She's like bending over like this, and I was like, "Oh."
Give it to me.
And then like, I fucked that bitch. Okay?
Oh my god.
I showed her.
We're talking about a dead woman right now. Keep that in mind.
What?
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 She was dead when you did it.
Oh,
No, when it happened.
this was like yesterday.
Yeah, so what were we saying about fucking her?
We have 2 viewers. We
Oh,
just started
all-time
talking about
high.
necrophilia. We got
Stocks
2
and
viewers.
Shit and necrophilia.
What was your story about, like the?
Oh yeah, the
The
adult
games-
Oh,
porn
okay,
day,
yeah.
whatever.
So I'm moving next Friday, and because my parents got divorced like a little while ago, we're finally moving out of the house. So we're moving into my grandparents down the street. So I've been helping clean out the extra rooms so that we all have a place to stay. And yesterday I was cleaning out the closet in the room that's next to mine because I'm already living over there, and I find this thing, and it's called Pin the Macho on the Man, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
essentially this adult party game where it's
I
a
thought you said
poster
nacho.
of it's a poster
See.
of a man in a seductive pose with a
sombrero.
bullseye where the stick should be. And the game comes with an assortment of different shapes that are essentially shaped like a penis, and you try
Wait,
and
different shapes.
Oh, there's a variety
There's
of
a variety?
There's
penises.
like,
Like a
there's
triangle.
like no. It's like there's a rainbow in the shape of a dog,
That's the
like
game
a
one.
banana.
That's the game one.
Is there
or-
like interracial?
The
Is
rainbow's
there
the
like
game one.
pin the Negro?
That's the real game. That's the real
This
game.
is an
To figure out
old
who's
game,
gay.
right? They would have
Figures
that.
out
No,
who's
there
gay.
wasn't. There
Oh.
wasn't. But it was all like fun shapes. They had peanuts and stuff.
Peanuts.
And then they had like one actual artistic drawing of a dick, and it was hairy. And I
Let's
was
call
like,
it-
alright.
How hard?
Artistic.
Flaccid or erect,
Yeah,
by the way. We have to know
that's
this.
the problem. We need to
Technical
know that.
problems.
It was plastic.
That's,
Okay.
what?
Anyways,
Oh,
I
that's
find
bullshit.
I find this game sitting in the closet of my
It's
grandmother's
not really
sewing
that macho.
Yeah, where's the macho?
Macho.
without the
Where's
erect?
Selection.
You know.
Is there one like leading to the left?
Oh yeah, there's left and right. There's a
There's
lot you can do
Mine's
with a
left.
dick.
Every
you know?
direction.
Left, left.
You need one that's looking at you and it's just a hole in the circle.
That's like in or out, like
Is there
the
like
physics
circumcised and
Like an
non-circumcised?
X-ray and that.
X or a dot, right hand rule.
Anyways, that's kind of besides the point. The most important part was like, why was this in my grandmother's sewing room? So I go downstairs and she's
So
she's
he's
downstairs sitting with my grandfather in
never
the
sewed a
living
day in her
room,
life.
and I'm like Grandma, what's this doing in the sewing room? And she just looks at it, and my grandfather sees this, and he's like, what is this, Evelyn? And I'm just like, oh shit, I probably shouldn't have said that in front of my grandfather. What is this? And then anyways, my grandmother's like, oh, Ricky gave me that. And I'm like,
Damn
who's
it.
that?
You figured me out.
What's with you and grandmothers, just out of curiosity?
I don't know.
He likes maturity. Experience.
Skills. I
I'm
asked
just more
my grandmother,
mature
I'm
than
like,
everyone
who's this
else.
Ricky guy? And she's like, oh, it's this guy I used to work with, like when I worked at Chart. And I'm like, okay, and like, why did he give you this? You were like old when you worked there. And he's like, oh, he gave it to me for my 50th birthday.
I met her in the bathroom
I'm
of
like,
Cole's house.
what? And she's like, we never played it. And I'm like, okay, Grandma, we are playing this right now. So we go down to the basement and we set it up. And
What?
Grandma,
Go to the basement.
continue to play this game where we're pitting penises on some random guy.
Wait, are you blindfolded? Is it like a donkey
Yeah.
type of thing?
No, of course, it's just be easy.
Where is this groin?
essentially,
Get it.
it's like pin the tail on the donkey,
Yeah.
but like with penises and
the
like a
dick.
sexy guy.
Yeah.
And my mom came over and she saw that we were playing that in the basement. She's like, I want to play. So my mom starts playing with
What a
us.
cool mom.
And I'm like, this isn't weird at all, but like it's a great game. Like I'm going to play that on my 19th birthday.
Oh
I'm
man,
going
that sounds
to.
like a time.
So she
Why
got
wait?
it when
Why
she
wait?
was-
Do they have like interchangeable men? Like, do they have like stars from old
No,
time? Like Tom
but I
Selleck?
looked
That would be
I
fantastic.
looked it up online to see when this version was from. And it was
Barack
from
Obama?
the 70s, not the
70s.
50s. And they have a modern
Michelle
one.
Obama.
They have a modern one?
They have a modern one with Channing Tatum in it, and I'm gonna buy it.
You know why?
For my sister, of course.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Not
for
for
your
me.
sister.
Hey, I had two sisters, so like.
Don't worry, I'll get your grandmother another one.
Tom Selleck, Marlon Brando.
I'll get you a Daniel one.
Yeah, just Photoshop my face onto one. That's all.
No, not even. I'll just get.
All right, I'm skipping. We have it halfway there with
Yeah.
King Fear. Yo, just take a picture from King Fear.
The jump kick one?
Sure. And then like it's a black spot. You have to put it there.
I would play that game. I would play that game.
Yeah, little black box.
Yeah, exactly. That's the hit. That's like the marker where you gotta put it.
You can make it work.
Oh man.
I really want to figure out how to make a cardboard cutout of someone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I could. use
What is
one.
the process for that? Do you guys know?
We did that for one of my friends in grade 10 because her mother died and she wasn't at school for a while. So we decided to make a cardboard cutout of her, and we took her around school and we took pictures with her cutout and stuff. It was fun.
Do you know how it's done?
Cute.
I thought you
What we
meant
did was
her
we
mother.
cut out like a shape of one of our friends that's around the same height as her out of cardboard, and then like we had a picture of my friend, and then we just
Oh,
blew it
your
up, and then
friend,
we
okay.
printed it out,
Yeah,
and then we cut
okay,
it out.
yeah,
So
we-
like
I thought
it
we
wasn't
thought-
like a legit.
Oh, okay.
It was like a hobo version of it, but it was still pretty fucking awesome.
we
You
thought
couldn't
you-
tell.
Those are awesome.
You couldn't tell in the pictures, and she really appreciated it because she thought it was kind of cool, and like we were all like, we missed her. But,
Yeah.
Wait. It wasn't the mother, right?
Yeah, that was
yeah, it
nice.
was her mother that died, and she was.
Oh, no.
We thought it was a
No,
cutout
but-
of her mother,
no,
and you just like go around and take pictures of her. I was like,
Hey, look who's here!
Oh my god.
No, that would be so mean.
Fucked up.
It was definitely.
It's not even
of
like a
our
picture,
friend.
just like a drawing. It's just with a crayon.
this is your dead mother.
They're like,
We're having the time of our
shit.
life with her.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's horrible.
they just label it dead mom.
From me to you. That's horrible.
I hate it when
That's
people-
actually one of the worst things we've said now. That's just,
Yeah.
Well,
let's
I
just
don't
have a
know.
moment.
You
Like
just
we've
fucking
actually
old
said
ladies.
the
Oh,
worst
yeah.
thing.
That
It's nice.
I was fucking dead people.
Well,
I wasn't. Well, here.
And
I
other-
wasn't,
so
but I
you
was.
were.
Yeah. I
Freudian
wasn't.
slip.
I was, no. Okay, so Sydney and Greg, I have a question for you guys. Why is this called the System Crash Podcast?
Actually, I've been wondering.
I will leave it to Greg because
Oh.
I had no part in
Wow.
this.
Not even
Like
associated.
one half of this podcast.
It's a terrible name. I didn't come up with this.
It was a terrible day. Well, it all started
Credit where credit's due.
in the 90s.
The World War II.
World War II.
90s and World War II.
I didn't mean that.
Do you remember that show, what is it called? Radioactive? It was like a sitcom
yeah.
in like YTV.
Yeah,
You remember that?
The guy with
Yeah.
spiky hair.
Yeah.
Remember that guy?
And then like
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
after that show, right? There was another show on it that played. It was called System Crash, right? And it was like about these kids
Oh.
working at like some what's it called, like IT,
Sure,
like
sure.
like the IT building in like the high school they were in, and then that's why I picked it up from like, System Crash.
Just all right.
Yeah.
Cool.
That sounds
Cool.
really.
So,
I
like,
thought you just
nostalgia.
chose 2 words that sounded cool,
System
right?
Yeah.
Crash.
That's very difficult to do. I don't think I've ever been able to pick 2 words that go together really well, except for my
How about-
Reddit username. I had like
What is yours?
no way, because then you like.
Actually,
yeah,
go on.
yeah,
Go on.
yeah.
That's a bad
Already
idea. Don't give it up.
Is it hasty
I
testicles?
think one of the best ones I've heard is rectomatus.
One of the good ones I
Rectomanus.
heard
This
was
is
like
great.
Optimus Crime. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's clever.
Attila the what is it? Attila the
Cunt.
Cunt.
that works.
Cunt.
Oh, that's cunt.
Just cunt, not even Attila.
We'll go with Attila the cunt. I
cunt.
can't remember the actual one.
Imagine a superhero name, the Cunt.
The cunt.
What would be your superhero name if you had to choose?
That's a very good question.
Well, hold on. Let's choose a
Every man?
superpower
We
first.
all
and
Okay,
know.
then we'll-
superpower.
What is Alberto's?
Alberto's a super rapist.
Okay.
Oh, there's
Okay.
already
Birdos.
there already
Yeah.
is that.
Is
In,
that Stevens as well?
I'm
there
down
already is
for that one.
In Japan, they have like Rape Man. Do you ever see that?
Yeah.
Rape
Actually,
What's
Yeah.
your superpower, Greg?
Rape. And you fly. And like
Superpower is flying. And his name's Rape Man, and all he can do is fly.
there was this one scene, right, where like he like bonds like a girl to like a side of a building, and then like he like swings like Spider-Man and his pants are off, and like he's fully erect.
You sent me this.
Yeah,
That's
and
a
then he's just
fetish.
like yeah, and he just
That
slams right
is-
into her.
That's a
Yeah.
niche market right there.
Like Spider-Man.
Except for the rape.
Oh, it's awesome.
Do you remember Japanese Spider-Man? There's like
Oh,
this-
I
yo.
need to do that.
That's great. There's a Japanese version of Spider-Man, and what happens is in one of the trailers, he calls on his giant robot friend. What was it called? Leopardon.
Yeah.
I'm not
Change
shitting you.
Leopardon.
His robot's name is
That's what he calls
Leopardon, and literally it's straight out of Power Rangers. He took the Megazord and he just like changed it, and made it his own.
God.
And then there's another scene where he foils a robbery. He takes one of the robbers' guns and starts shooting.
With like a machine.
It's like remember, you guys saw the Italian Spider-Man,
Yeah.
right? He just
No,
pulls
I
out a
didn't see it.
shotgun during a poker game and starts killing everybody.
Oh man.
Like, what the fuck? He didn't even have a
That's
weapon.
Spider-Man. That's how I remember him. And spaghetti and meatballs.
So yeah,
It's not spaghetti.
It's
Eminem.
me, it's
Imagine Eminem had a superpower where he just shot mom spaghetti at people. Wait, yeah. So what were the superpowers? Daniel, you go first.
Huh?
What's your superpower?
What's my? I don't have a superpower.
What superpower?
Why'd you make me feel
I don't
shitty
have
about
superpowers,
myself?
Greg. What superpower would you want?
What would I want?
Choose only one, and don't say like I'd be Wolverine, cause that's like fucking everything.
No, I would just want to be a Batman if I wanted to choose. But that's no superpower.
Super
that's
Batman.
technically
So
a
being
wrong
super
answer.
rich.
Yeah.
Having money. Having money.
I would want
Super Batman.
I would want to be able to read the mind of anybody or anything.
That's real bad.
Anything,
Oh, anything.
as well.
Okay.
Assuming rocks have thoughts.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
I
the
think it would
rock
be
could do
really interesting
Imagine
to
if a
figure
rock
out what
forgot how
a
to be a
rock
rock.
that just sits and does nothing all day thinks about.
What would your superhero name be?
That'd be Sundeep.
Superhero name?
Rock. The Rock.
Yeah, it would be John the Dwayne Roxon.
Keep going. Rock the Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah,
Keep
stuck that
calling
in your
him.
head.
Yeah.
Rock the Dwayne Johnson.
That's
The
the
Dwayne. The Dwayne. The wrestler is called the Dwayne. I just get everywhere.
All right, let's continue this.
Around the
train. What
table.
would yours be?
I don't think I would really have a superpower.
Well, that's boring.
What's the
Okay.
what's the closest thing to a superpower then?
I don't really know. Like
A
I'm not a very
motorcycle.
fantastic
Motorcycle?
A
person.
motorcycle.
No,
a
I
master
don't
assassin?
know.
Does that count? No, that doesn't count.
Okay, what about like excelling at something? Though? What would one thing be that you would just really love to excel at? Be better than everyone else, almost to the point of supernatural.
The
Reading.
skill.
Reading.
Oh, not reading. I'm really good at
Reading.
reading.
Just like
This whole fucking day.
yeah. That'd save you time.
Actually, that's very interesting because I was reading some of the old
I was reading.
Justice League comics, and in one of them, the Flash was reading, and he can read as fast as he,
Huh.
or no, his.
As fast as you want.
as fast as he runs.
crazy.
He can
Almost there.
really absorb all the information. Like you know, Kid Flash, he can do that, but the actual Flash can't, which I thought was kind of cool. So I mean, if I had to have a superpower, I think it would probably be like Kid Flash, just so like I could run really fast, so I'd no longer have to take the bus. But there isn't a bus, which I'm sorry about.
Fuck up the podcast timing.
And then I can read really fast.
But
so
if you
then,
can read that fast, you're gonna run through all the books in the world in like a day, and then what are you gonna do?
No,
You're gonna sit on your ass.
I'd
Salad
take my
playing with your
time
balls
with it.
open.
Like,
Watch
I would-
How can you
Scarface.
take your
I would
time
do
when
all
you're
the
going
physics
that
readings.
fast?
Like I would really hope I could write as fast as I read, because then I would like only have to.
But
Well,
it's
let's
the
see.
same problem. Like you're
Wait.
just gonna run out of shit.
Also, new things come out every day. You can just read the internet endlessly.
Oh yeah.
That is so true. Oh, then Reddit would get even more boring faster.
Yeah.
That would be a problem.
Yeah, if your browser can keep up with you, every link in the
Okay,
universe
but
will be purple.
wouldn't I have the choice between like reading really fast and then reading at a normal pace?
Could you
Yeah, but
just
then
like
what's the
not
point of
choose to
having
read?
a power?
Yeah.
Well,
Could you
when
just not
need
choose
it
to
for,
read?
Like, reading
When you
physics,
just
you don't want
need
to waste your
it.
time with that shit.
Choose
much
not to
time
read.
is
That's
that
my
really?
superpower. Choose not to read. Fuck it
Choose
all.
not to read. That's my
I wish I couldn't read.
I wish I was a literate.
That's my super. Just be black. I'm sorry.
That is not the worst thing we've said.
Your podcast's gonna be canceled now.
Oh my god.
You just see the viewer count go down one. we had a black viewer?
He was watching this before.
Yeah,
he commented.
He was.
Oh my god.
Now I'm gonna get
Now
robbed.
you've done it, Ricky.
I'm gonna get robbed and stabbed tonight.
Nah, he's too white.
What about you, Andy? What's your superpower?
Superpower.
Are you assuming this is like from cartoons or like
Oh,
movies
just
or
come
like
up with
anywhere?
something. Come up with
Imagine-
something that,
What about like cartoon anime, like stuff like that?
Come
Yeah,
whenever
Yeah,
you
that's
want.
allowed. Anything.
Anything?
Come whenever you want.
I'll be like,
Giant dick.
but like Dragon Ball Z, you go
That'd be
Super
sick.
Saiyan, man. I can like,
Yeah.
I basically power it off, and then I get like, I can teleport. I have like agile abilities. I have like
being a
everything
Saiyan
somehow.
is pretty fucking awesome.
I
Like
like
you
it,
got
Saiyan.
everything covered.
Yeah, and my hair goes up all of a sudden, man.
I just realized, if you're Super Saiyan, nothing can beat you.
Yeah, honestly.
And you
Like,
level
even
up 3
Superman
times.
is like,
Yeah.
off,
I'm
man.
about a
We
super
got this.
Asian.
Does a Pokemon trainer
I don't
count as like
A
a
superpower?
superpower?
Would it be called
But
the
it's-
calculator?
Existing in
swear.
the Pokemon universe.
That should be its own superpower, because like I would love to do that.
It would be cool. I would just want to pet Pichu.
What?
No, Peter.
How you need that
You mean
Pikachu?
your
man?
uncle?
My uncle's name is Pichu, nickname. By the way.
Uncle Pichu.
There's Uncle Pichu, Uncle Chipu, Uncle Popo, Uncle Piggy,
Uncle Mr. Popo.
Uncle Dippy, Uncle
Popo.
Dippu. They
Mr.
got
Popo.
weird uncles,
Uncle
man.
PP.
You know,
Yeah, there's probably a PP somewhere
wee.
in there.
on the,
TT.
do you remember in Dragon Ball Z when Goku, no wait, not Goku, Gohan turned into like a great ape, and then like
idiot.
Piccolo decided
fucking
like,
idiot.
oh, we need to stop this guy. But instead of cutting off his tail, he's like, you know what we should do? We should destroy the moon.
Oh yeah, that's so stupid, man. I just realized that. Just
Like
cut
you're
off
a
his
kid,
tail.
you're like, yeah, man, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I know. It's blew
great.
up the moon.
It was great because he showed up and he's like, oh, what do I do? And then he looked at the moon and he had a realization. He's like, the moon, the source of its power. Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't Master Roshi destroy the moon as well? In like the original
Did he?
Dragon Ball?
How many moons are there?
Yeah, how many moons are there? We're killing all the moons. How are they coming
I
back?
think maybe they wished it back.
I just realized they destroyed the moon. Didn't they just dam the Earth, essentially?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it
Pretty
would
much.
send like asteroids and
Or at
meteors.
least the
to
tides,
the moon.
anyways.
Well, I don't know the proper terms from asteroid. I don't know, I'm a retard.
Superpower.
Oh, grow hair on anything.
Okay.
What?
Oh, yeah. No, it's really good.
No,
Here's the
think about it,
explanation.
think about it. Okay,
Other
so
people
like,
too?
yeah, other people too.
Okay.
So like, let's say like somebody's coming at you, right? And then,
That's dirty.
like you can just like grow hair on their brain and they'll be fucked. You know what I mean? Or like
I
grow
wouldn't
hair
have
on
thought
their
of
heart.
that. Well, would hair really inhibit the brain's function?
No,
Yeah,
I don't know
but
why
like-
you said brain. Your
Like a bush.
example.
Like a,
But that's
Bush.
not
Did you
logical unless like wouldn't it have to be from somewhere that's got hair follicles though?
This is
oh, it converts the matter
That's
into.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
part of the
superpower.
superpower, man. Come on,
No.
get with the program.
It's just spawning hair.
You think we're being limited by
Like, could
biology
you
here?
grow?
I think we should
I'd
be.
grow
I love how
hair
you
too.
said
We have
this
to be at
isn't
least
logical.
Oh, that'd be good.
How do you do a Super Saiyan? Biology does it allow that?
Yes, being Super Saiyan.
My hair
My
goes
name
up,
would
it
be
turns
Cubicus.
yellow, I got
Cubicus.
green eyes.
Give a kiss.
Cubicus! That's my superhero name.
Superpower, Rick.
What?
I was.
Don't make fun of my yawn. Leave me alone.
Okay, Jesus.
Oh, got some beef happening.
It's a really cute yawn. It's funny.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Anyways,
What's Ricky's superpower?
Stop being so nice to
So-
me.
eating bananas.
Eating bananas?
It's not really well, actually it is a superpower that I would like, right? This guy came up in like grade 12. It's like to sleep anywhere you want, but I think he's got
good
that
at that.
covered.
I already have
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Sure. Some people
I am
can already
so
do
good
that.
at
I do that
that.
all
Yeah,
the
I can't
time.
do
Yeah,
that.
he's also
No,
talented.
great 10 times Scott Bulmer. I always slept.
Every time you just lay your chin on the desk, like just
done.
you're comfortable, you're asleep, done. Like that's amazing. I respect that.
No, he just has a weak chin. He
Are
got
there
knocked
stuff
out.
you can take to help you sleep? Is there like supplements you can take to help you sleep?
Yeah, there are sleeping
Oh
pills.
yeah.
But
yeah.
like other than sleeping pills.
Just take like anesthetics if you're really
Gas.
extreme.
Cherries are really good.
Gas
Like if you
chambers.
eat a bunch of red cherries before you go to bed,
Really?
they have like
Yeah.
a natural thing in them that makes you
What
sleep.
what causes?
You can
What's the- what's the-
asphyxiate yourself.
And masturbate.
Not like I do that.
Masturbate.
Why does that make people fall asleep?
What,
Just like-
masturbation?
Yeah.
Masturbation.
It's just a
No, it's
cycle of
it's-
life.
It's really
Why
just like a
is
The
that?
checklist.
cycle of life.
no, like you come and
descriptive.
you're just.
Because
That's
you-
so
You know why?
good.
No, it's like going to work. It's like a job well done,
Yeah.
and you just want to go to sleep.
Yeah, you're comfortable after.
Isn't it because you're releasing your hormones and then like you're stressed?
There's like a refractory
It's-
a refractory period.
I think it isn't. Doesn't it have something to do with? Is it serotonin or dopamine? I think it's dopamine. It has something
Probably
to do with.
dopamine.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's something to do with that and
Chemicals.
the inhibitors. I don't know. I think I read about it somewhere on
Yeah.
Reddit because they were talking about that, but I didn't
What's
really
that
get
thing in
into it.
Turkey?
Turkey.
Yeah, it's like
Where'd this
starts
come
with an
I
M.
thought you meant the country.
Oh, why everybody feels tired after
Yeah.
eating a turkey dinner? Yeah.
Itis,
Oh,
the
it's
itis.
what was it? It was a
It's the itis.
The inner what?
amino acid, wasn't
Huh?
it?
No,
It was an
it's-
amino acid, wasn't it?
Man, I don't know.
Found
Amino
turkeys and
acids are
shit.
proteins. Wouldn't proteins keep you awake?
They keep you alive.
They get me big.
Build muscle.
Protein all day,
Have you read those things on 4chan about the guys that like jack off and then they have to like eat their shit?
Wait, what?
Wait, whoa,
Oh,
say this
yeah.
loud.
When you get
No.
it, you're telling
No,
this
you
to
gotta
everyone.
say this.
God.
Wait,
please.
are you in anthropology?
I'm taking the class, but
Yeah.
I'm,
Okay. We did this. I think I'm in your class.
What lecture are you in?
I don't know.
Anyways, okay, no,
I don't-
like
Okay.
me and one of my friends from high school, we both go on 4chan, and we don't usually tell people about
4chan.
this, especially me. But anyways,
Wait, you don't
I
tell
was,
yourself you're on 4chan?
It's also rule.
I don't
there's
go
rules,
on
actually.
There's a
You just
rule.
broke 2 rules.
you
It's like Fight Club.
anyways,
Desmond doesn't
anyways,
follow through.
you guys know what fit is on there, right?
Yes.
Where-
What is it?
and
What
they're
is
always
this?
talking
Advice.
about like
It's
getting
a-
the maximum
it's a subform.
protein.
For
Stop.
what?
For 4chan.
Oh, fitness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways, there's a story. It was obviously fake, but this guy was like, I went to the gym, came home, my girlfriend saw that like I was really sweaty, and she's like, we're going to have sex now. So they did, and then he realized that he lost protein from his jizz, so he like shoved his fist up her to get it back and ate it because he couldn't afford to lose protein.
Isn't that what they
Yeah,
do?
it's
in, like,
dedication.
Papua
Holy
New
shit.
Guinea? Like those like warrior tribes that like after sex they'll like after they come they'll be like, oh, I need to like get back my manliness,
eat it.
so they'll go to like an elder and they'll give the elder like a hand job and like
Oh yeah, we were talking about
Yeah.
that in Anthro, weren't we?
yeah,
That's
they'll
what we were
like
talking about.
they'll drink up the semen like after they have had sex with a woman.
In
from
our
another
culture,
guy.
that's weird. In theirs, it's normal.
Yeah.
That's
Cultural
actually really
relativism.
interesting.
And that's why I didn't need to study for that exam.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just like all the multiple
Yeah.
choice was like, oh, don't
got
be a
this shit
douchebag. They're just like, oh, they're culturally sensitive, you know.
No, my favorite was Where Did the Trobrianders Live? And like that's the title
Oh,
of
yeah.
the book. The Trobrianders of Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea. I didn't even need to open that textbook.
Wait, Sydney, what was your superpower?
Oh yeah, we didn't get to.
Oh shit, I don't really know actually.
Come whenever you want.
Um,
I got that down.
no,
That's
yeah.
actually a good one.
You know what?
Good.
That's
the,
a good one.
The ability to can't
And like
can't come.
not
to can't come. The ability to come endlessly.
Why?
So it's like
No.
a fire hose.
I don't think
No.
that's a good idea.
That no.
I think being able to come whenever you want is better, like to control it
It's
whatever
like
you
how
want.
people can
Because
No, handy would be.
because you can use it as a defense mechanism.
Yeah. So if you're getting
You're like
raped-
a skunk.
It's just a little bit comes out. Oh, what are you gonna do? I'll
I
punch
mean-
you in the face. A little bit of cum on my shirt. It's not gonna stop me from beating you up.
No, I mean like someone comes up to you, you don't want to talk to them, just like
You gotta whip out your dick. He's like, wait, what are you doing? Just punched you in the face. I'm gonna take
If
your
I tried that, I would walk away before they actually had the chance.
yeah, you're just
No,
fiddling around with the zippers.
I
Like,
can't get it up.
like wait.
the worst possible time to wear my Rubik's Cube belt buckle.
Do those exist?
I don't know.
They do, I think.
That is a
You have
nightmare.
to solve it before. You have to solve
Yeah,
it.
no, it's like
Oh god.
that would be a good idea for a chastity belt. A 10x10 Rubik's cube.
And if you could
10
solve
by
it,
10.
you could have
10
sex.
by
Yeah,
10.
you deserve
Those
it.
exist.
What if you need to pee?
Oh, you're done.
To pee?
You're done,
Piss your
man.
pants.
Just go in there.
There's a tube that sucks
Yeah,
it
there's
all
a
up.
catheter.
Oh my gosh, I was actually just going to say that. Catheters, they're great. They're great.
Yeah,
Well, you
don't
can
pull them out
still
on your
unzip.
own.
If you were having a belt buckle, you could still unzip, right? Stick your dick out. You can do that.
No.
Oh yeah.
Not
That
chastity
defeats the
belt, though.
yeah, that
Oh,
defeats
that
the
was
purpose of
a
the
chastity
Oh, we're
chastity
wearing a
belt.
chastity belt. Okay, I thought we were talking about the belt buckle.
Oh yeah, it was just
Oh,
a belt buckle.
well, sure.
But then you're just not hardcore.
Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, you're just a pussy. If you do it.
Wait, why is it called a catheter?
What's that?
I couldn't tell you.
Pee bag.
Oh,
It's like it goes into your bladder or
Bladder.
whatever,
Oh.
and then it filters out that way.
I can't think of like a derivative if that's what you're looking for. I don't know.
Yeah.
who's that god like in we were learning about it in like ancient mythology
Kratos.
that like
It's the only
Kratos.
Priapus.
No, when
Oh.
Oedipus.
when
Oh,
you're
Oedipus.
just saying names.
Velis.
Zeus,
The motherfucker.
the motherfucker. And he
original.
was just like his ability was just like getting raped by Zeus, and he was like a boy.
Ganymede.
That was his.
Yeah, Ganymedes.
That was his
a
superpower was getting raped.
Getting raped
By a god.
by a
Hey,
god.
if there's a superpower for being a rapist, oh, that's actually my mom.
The
Alright.
super
Okay.
racist.
Her mom's just like, I've heard everything. Get back home.
Anyways, I have a question.
Yeah.
From back how Ricky made that comment on stereotypes with AJ.
Yeah.
So what stereotype do you think is most true for you now that you're in university, not like around your campus?
Yeah.
What's
Asians are
most
quiet.
true for you? As in, like, what one do you see?
Yeah, I
the
agree
most?
with that.
That's
Yeah, like
like reality.
Yeah,
That
sister
matches you
campus
the
is
most?
kind of
That matches you.
No, like-
personally.
like what's
No,
been
that
exposed
confirms.
to you.
Oh, okay.
Brown people are dead.
Asians don't know how to walk or drive.
That's only mainland Asians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mainland-
And
I
U of
heard.
T Scarborough is full of them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Exactly.
It's been
Okay.
described to me
Bullshit.
like people born here can drive. People born
Yeah.
Yeah.
on like in China.
It's
You ever
crazy.
see those? You ever see those videos of
Yeah.
like
I've
them
been
on
there
the highway,
myself.
like in China, where like they'll have like it's a highway, but people are crossing and like they'll just get hit.
Yeah.
They'll just
Yeah,
get
I
fucked.
Yeah, it just happened.
Who does
Joe
that?
Rogan's podcast.
Yeah, you saw that, right?
Yeah,
They're fucking
his reactions
idiots,
are
man.
amazing.
It's fucked
It's
up.
like I hate when stereotypes play off.
But they even don't know how to walk. Like they don't have courtesy in a way. Like they walk
Wait.
in a big group
That's a stereotype.
horizontally. I just see it
Clique.
Yeah.
all
It's
the
a clique.
time.
It's a clique.
Yeah,
I don't-
no,
I
but
don't
then
understand.
they walk slowly and they drag their feet and they open their mouths and they look to the
they
ceiling.
open their mouth.
and,
Damn
and,
it.
And they no, but they look lost.
Yeah,
They're
I know.
lost.
I know what
Yeah.
you're saying. Like
It pisses me off.
people who drag their feet and breathe with their mouth open.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, yeah.
Hey, that's me.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like I guess it's the thing about it is that it seems rude for your mouth being open when you.
It's not even. It's just. I guess rude is the
it's
word. Yeah.
inconsiderate.
I don't know. It, for me, they just look
Confused, right?
dumb. They
It's
just
like-
look confused.
like a
yeah.
slow poke. Like,
yeah, they just don't know. They look like they don't know where they're going, like in life.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like they just don't. Ugh. I don't know.
And with
It
dragging your
bothers me.
feet, it's
Oh my god.
it's like you know how to walk. Why are you doing?
Yeah,
that?
exactly. It's like, is your life too hard to pick up your fucking feet? I'm pretty sure you can pick up your feet.
I do that because I'm accustomed to it.
He's one of those-
He's getting so heated up.
No,
I do it because I'm accustomed to
I
it.
see it all.
It's
Yeah,
how
I
I
mean,
walk.
whatever. You grow up with
Yeah.
what you grow up. I don't. It's fine. It just for me. It just it
it's a
irks
pet
me.
peeve.
It's a very big pet
grinds
peeve for
my
me.
gears.
Because like there's one thing about like manners and tradition being like, you know, overly hyped up. You know, like it's not everything
Yeah.
to just be like, you know, no elbows on the table. And,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I get it. Like that's not everything, but a little bit of that.
Yeah,
man.
just don't be a
It's-
douche. It just
it's-
really waters down to.
I
Don't be a
value
douche.
it. I value
Right.
manners.
How much do you agree on when people are getting their food at like a dinner table and you wait for everybody before you eat? How much do you agree on that?
I agree. I do
I
that
always do
unless
that.
unless the person who's not eating yet like
Yeah.
gives consent.
No.
I don't eat first. I don't.
I
'Cause
always
I just-
do
It
that.
is
I
weird.
never knew that until like like
Yeah,
maybe
I mean,
last
it's
year.
just how you're
did?
brought up.
I did.
It's-
Well,
Because my family doesn't care. We just start
yeah,
eating.
yeah.
no, it just makes sense though. Like if you're eating, right, it makes the other person like want to eat more, and it's kind of unfair. That's why we wait for the other people.
There's also a thing where like it kind of bugs me when someone's finished and then at a restaurant the waiter takes away the plate before everyone else is done. You know, in a way, it's sort of the same thing. I don't know. It's
the same situation.
Yeah, it's just kind of like they're like, oh, okay, so now they can rest their
Not
thing.
even that, but like I worked at a restaurant. Do you know how difficult it is waiting for like a table of say like 6 people to all finish at the same time and take all their plates at the same time? Like you're gonna drop.
Yeah, it's
from your
convenient.
point of view,
I'll wait until there's like probably 2 or 3 people that are done because I could take 3 people's stuff no problem, and then there's like the other 3 that are just really really slow, right? But like trying to get all 6 at one time, it's just not feasible.
No.
And you don't want to make 2 trips because it looks like you're not capable of doing your job. So you kind of have to do it in steps. Okay. Same with asking them if they need anything. You can't just keep coming back and being like, "Oh, do you need anything?" Because you interrupt. I hate when people do that.
It.
Like when we were shopping today, right? It kind of feels uncomfortable when people come up to you and you
need help.
You just walked into the store.
Okay, there's another rule about that too because I've worked in like a small store and I've worked at like a big store.
Yeah.
When you work in a big store, like you don't have to greet them right away, but as long as you ask them at some point during when like they're in the store, as long as you ask them if they need any help, that's fine. Right off the bat, don't do it. But if you're in a small store, do it off the bat because 1, you can't really ignore them because they're probably the only other person in the store, and because it's a small store and there's less people in it, you're more likely to get things stolen from you because you're the only person that's working. Therefore, by greeting them right away means that I'm paying attention or you're paying attention and they won't steal things because they know you're watching.
It makes me feel uncomfortable.
There's a way to do it, right? Like,
don't be so not everyone's good at it.
Like,
do you need help?
It's like, oh, hi, welcome to my store, right? And if you need anything, just tell me, right? You can do it like that. But then some people are like, like today, right? I was looking at a shirt, right? It's like, oh, you want to try that on? Right? Tell me if you need other size. Like, I was just looking at it. Like,
when you do that, it's kind of like if they're looking at one thing, just let them look. But if they have like a couple of things, just say, hey, do you need me to start like a change room for you or something? You know? Like, that's fine. I have people, like, I go shopping a lot, and like if I have like 5 or 6 things, people will ask me that, and I'll be like, sure, thank you. But like if it's like one thing, I'm like, you can go. Like, I'm looking at stuff. I don't need your help. You probably don't know jack shit because I know how they hire people here.
Like, I just walked in for like not even a minute, and she just comes up to me. Oh, you want to try that on?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I guess it's like a sales technique because I remember someone telling me, right? They went to this herbal tea store where they sell a bunch of like herbs, teas, and like other like Chinese medical stuff, right? So he goes in, right, and the guy greets him immediately and offers him a free sample, okay? And he's like, sure, why not? And then he gets a free sample, and then the guy goes on about how great this is, and he's like forced to agree because he approached him, and you can't feel bad if you say no, right? So then all of a sudden he's like, how much do you want, right? And he starts putting it into like a container, right? And then he didn't say anything, right? Because like he thought he was just trying it, and by the end of it, he's like, so how much do you want? And then he weighs it for the price, right? And then he said no, but most people would probably agree because you feel bad for it. It's like a marketing technique.
You know,
sneaky. People have
old Asian people are the best at getting out of that. They're just
Asians in general
are like the best at getting. They're like, no, and they just walk out.
Oh god, if you want to know somebody who can get a deal, my friend Juliana, like my best friend, her mom is like the most adorable little Korean woman. Like, I'm not even kidding. She brings me like jasmine rice when she sees me. She's tiny. She's adorable. But she goes to like China and Korea all the time, and like I have never ever like Juliana has a video of her like trying to buy a pair of socks for her, and like this woman is just like, no, I'm not going lower than like $5 or something, and then her mom just like is totally like, okay, I'm leaving that, and it's like amazing. She's like, she's so tiny and so cute, but man, she's like ferocious,
cutthroat killer.
I've seen that a lot. Like
she'll walk away with things like 70% less than what the person like said they wanted for it. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, she's just that good at it, and I'm like, you teach me.
Some people are so good at bartering.
I remember
Asians
that.
in general.
Yeah, I went to China, right? And one of my relatives like brought me shopping for like games, right? Every time she'd like see a game, right, she'd ask for the price, and instantly she'd like cut the price in half, doesn't matter what it is. Just say half the price. And then if she doesn't get it, we just leave.
Just start walking away.
Yeah, and then they actually come back to you. And they're like, no, okay, fine, I'll give it to you.
They need the sales. Like, once you know that, it gives you a lot of power.
The other thing I noticed too is with Pacific Mall, all Asians there. I've never been there my entire life, just because
you're missing out.
Based on assumptions that I'm making right now. Based on stereotypes.
But I had a couple of white friends that went once in high school because they were all into like anime and stuff, and I didn't go with them because like I just know it's not safe, and my mom's like, if you're going there,
it's not safe.
Only in the parking lot.
Anyways,
they know kung fu.
There and like they brought their one Asian friend, and their one Asian friend went in and got a price or something, and then they were like, oh, okay, yeah, like I don't really want it that bad anyways, and they left. And then one of our white friends went in and like was like, oh, I want to get the same thing, but they were gonna get it for the other friend for their birthday, and the price was like $5 more just because they were white. And thought we would take it at face value, and she's just like, you told my friend that it was $10. Why are you telling me it's 15?
Yeah, you can haggle.
You know what? I was wondering, if a white guy goes into like an Asian market and they start speaking like the language, they're like Mandarin, Cantonese, whatever.
It's gonna blow.
Are you gonna do better or worse?
Generally,
that's my dream. That's my superpower.
Because like, would they be like taken aback, or
generally,
or are they gonna be friendly to you?
Generally, they'll be really surprised that you actually know Chinese, and then they'll try to. They'll probably expose some crap about you or something because they're like that. They're like that.
Like they're not gonna be like open to you.
Yeah, they're not. They're gonna be a little hostile.
That's interesting to me.
Actually, the worst when people don't think you understand their language or whatever it is
they
they're
talk shit behind your back,
and you know that they're talking shit about you because you understand what they're saying. It's kind of like, hey, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Because see, I was thinking about that because in Greece, no matter who comes, if someone speaks Greek, they're like family.
Yeah.
Like everyone, you will eat like a king. You will get deals. Like you're just set if you know like a few words. It's a beautiful little place that is in a lot of trouble.
Broke.
No, they're broke because they don't pay taxes and they're lazy shits.
They buy everything.
Yeah, they're just idiots.
They eat too much.
Yeah. Like if they're not self-sustaining on a farm, they're idiots. Like that's basically.
They don't have farmland either, so it's
not anymore. You can buy it for like $50 probably and get like an island, no problem. It's just half of Greece. It's
they're
so
in debt.
shitty.
I don't know what my wrist is doing right now.
I was thinking hi to someone.
I do that very often.
Don't worry, it's fine. No, that's crazy though. That you guys would like close off. Like, oh my god, speaks our language. He knows too much.
I think it's more just because like it's like a race thing. Like my family at least are really like hostile or not as friendly. Not as friendly towards other people that aren't Chinese. So if you're like if you're like Korean, Viet, white, Asian, like no way, like you're out of here.
Yeah, it happens.
Have you ever been to anywhere in China?
Yeah, that's how I got this thing here. I told you my story, man.
No.
Walked on the wall.
Okay,
you did not. You did not tell the story.
What about like little like Korea towns in China? Because like my friend's mom, she's from like a Korea town in China.
Asia reception.
Like pretty much. So this flash thing is actually getting really annoying. Like would they not like those people as much? Is that like white people here being like, oh my god, they live in Chinatown, they're so Chinese, they don't even know English, and we hate them? Is it the same thing? Because there are people like that here.
I don't know. It's tough one.
Do you remember?
Stop paying attention.
All I heard was Chinese.
What were you saying?
Oh yeah, do you remember I was telling you the story about I was in front of my grocery store where I worked, and there was like a group of Asians walking by, and there was like this old white guy just walking by.
A lot of times.
Did I say this a lot?
No, it's Cindy.
Oh,
keep going.
And then he's like, "Fucking chinks," and then just walks right past them.
I don't know how people are that racist.
Yeah, and like right to their face too.
There are a lot of people that are racist. I think we're inherently racist.
You have to think...
Yeah. But to have the nerve.
Yeah, but you have to think they were raised in that, right? Yeah. Like, they're the last of what would have been considered like a societal norm for racism.
So like Gran Torino generation.
Like back in my day, that was the racism. Racism now, not what it used to be.
I remember when this country had no gooks in it. Like it's crazy.
Well, you have to think about it. Like,
Chinese.
Like compare how
that's me.
Our racist comments work versus how somebody who's like 70 or 80 years old, how theirs work. they were raised in it, so they thought it was normal, but we don't have a tolerance for racism, which is why when we look at people doing stuff like that, that looks extremely strange to us, but to them, that's completely normal. You gotta, especially with white people, because they were raised to be racist little fucks, and it's okay. Because even though my grandfather yells every time at the Indian man who wanders up and down our street to go and get a real job, I still love my grandpa.
Is it Daniel? Is it Daniel?
I'm not the brown one here.
Every day I just go to fuck with them. I put on a turban and like kind of.
Guess what you know?
Dance up the street.
Get a job. You can't tell me what to do. Where am I going to work?
There's a good quote that described that. Like, for the generation now to prosper, the last generation has to die.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's true.
They're holding us
Essentially,
back.
like baby boomers, like seriously,
Yeah.
they need to let
Fuck
go.
up.
How old are they now, the baby boomers?
60s.
I was thinking 70s.
Okay, well,
They're,
okay,
they're
Mom,
in
sorry.
their late
You can
60s.
stick
Like
around
my
a bit.
dad is the tail end of the baby boomers, and he's
Oh, really?
turning 50 this year.
Right.
Yeah, we're not celebrating that with him.
Yeah.
We're moving. Yeah, we're moving on my dad's birthday.
Oh, okay. Well.
Lighthearted affair.
I actually wanted to bring up, the idea of like what, how would I word it? Culture shock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
When you
learning
went-
about that.
You
Just it.
just say because you went to China, right? Could you feel like?
Dude, this was like when I was 4.
Okay, then
Well,
you don't
you've-
count.
you've been
don't
there,
fucking
right?
When you
count.
felt the wall,
I went
did
there
it feel
4
racist?
years ago. 4 or 5
years ago, yeah, I went like 2 years ago, so I still vividly remember.
The racism.
No joke. When I go there, I know not because of that incident, but I know now there's nothing Asian about me. There's nothing Chinese about me besides my blood and my face.
Nah, you're just a fucking Canadian now.
I'm Canadian.
You know what?
When I go there, hold on. Let me finish this up. When I go there, right, I can feel people. The Chinese people there, they don't like me because I'm too Western. I'm not, and they don't consider me Chinese at all. I'm like, I wouldn't say black sheep, but like I'm
But you know,
outed.
like,
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they blame you for everything. Like
Oh,
I don't want to say that, but like I can feel the aura. People don't like me. They like stare at me and they said, "You don't
they
belong
view
here."
Yeah,
you
you're
like
a
a
foreigner.
You don't.
Yeah.
I'm foreigner. There's nothing Chinese about me. I don't know
Exactly.
shit. And it's that culture thing. You know when at least
culture
our
shock,
parents
yeah.
when they come to Canada or the States,
The same
there's
thing.
all these opportunities that pop up, right? You know what I mean? Like
Of
it's
It's hard.
what's it
The
called? The
land
Great
of
American Dream.
opportunity.
Whatever, right? Like, land of opportunity.
Yeah, there
I
you
fucking
go.
forgot it already.
It's not America.
And
Yeah, it's America,
that's what I
but
said,
we're
States.
pretty much better at it now.
And now all the Asians, all the second or third generations are going back to China or fucking Vietnam or
That's
Japan
where
or
all the
whatever.
opportunities, the
And
jobs.
it's a culture shock because now China has risen above the States. There's more opportunity in China
Yeah.
than the States itself. But people don't accept that. They're like, there's a documentary about these 4 teens. They have worked there. So one person's a photographer, one arranged weddings or whatnot.
Sure.
They say they say people don't really like them because they went to the States. That's where opportunity is. Why are you coming back?
Mm-hmm.
And also the fact that there's nothing Chinese about them. They're so Western that they don't want to associate with them, and they just don't give a shit about them.
Isn't that just the team mentality? Like, oh, you left our team and now you're coming back?
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially. They
There's
don't give a
that, but
shit.
also America does change people because of the whole melting pot thing, right?
Yeah.
In Canada, you can pretty much be whatever
the
you
same.
are.
You could be anything.
And like, yeah, you can just have your little Indian clique in Brampton or whatever and eat Indian food.
Brambladash.
Yeah, basically Brambladash. That's a good way to put it. You could just eat your Indian food and have your Indian religion, have your Indian whatever, and it's like you're in India just with like less culture around you.
Yeah.
Less people.
So it's weird. Like it's kind of dumb in a way.
But you kind of
Like
think,
what's Canada now?
yeah, but you kind of have to think of it
Multicultural.
too.
Nice people.
Like it's not fair that people come into your country and think that it's okay to keep living like they're in their own. Because
Exactly.
It's lowering our
Yeah, like,
standards,
we should-
you know.
like, if you come
that
in
drives
here-
me nuts.
Yeah.
I have no problem with anybody's religion. I have no problem
Yeah,
with
do your
the
thing.
way they work or whatever it is, how they live their lives. But if you're coming into our country, you're taking advantage of our healthcare. The least you can do is learn to speak English or French
Yes.
and hold a job in our country and at least act like you're part of our society.
Yeah.
You know, like
Is that not one of the requirements to come
Yeah,
to Canada
it's-
to hold a steady job?
requirements.
No, I'm not even
because they're
kidding.
gonna live through
Like,
them.
Payal almost bailed on me about my hair yesterday because she had to take her grandmother to a doctor's appointment. And I'm like, why do you need to take your grandmother? Because she can't drive or something? And she's like, oh no, my grandmother can't speak English. And I'm like, your grandmother can't speak English and she's in our country and she's taking advantage of our healthcare?
Well, wait, how
kinda
long
guilty
has
for
she
that.
been there?
She's
Can't
been
speak
here for
English.
over 15 years.
Okay, that's
super
bad.
guilty. My
That's
family
bad.
is that 100%.
Yeah.
Mom and dad don't really speak English.
Like when the doorbell rings, do they tell you to go and answer it because they don't want to talk to people in
Yeah.
English? Because that's how bad
No,
her
they
family
usually tell me
is.
like, "Oh, go look. It might be a robber."
They're coming to get us.
Like, if he's black, don't open the door.
That's racism.
No, they're just being cautious.
There's a difference. Yeah.
Like, keep
That's the
yourself
same thing
safe.
too. But you see that as well. Like when my mom was going to high school, she's like Pickering High School. Everybody's black there, and everybody like you know what they call the cafeteria? They call it Cafrica because that's where all the black people go and eat, and it's exactly like it's like just black people.
There's a certain
and they
type
act
of
like they're black. And my
people.
mom's like, when I was a kid, everybody was like a white person. Like you were completely like an Oreo. If you were black, you were white on the inside. You were like everybody else. You were like a Canadian. You weren't all like, oh, but like I'm like
me-
really from Africa, so I'm
To
gonna
me,
act
that makes me mad
African.
when white
or,
people
like,
do that. When like middle-aged white people complain, or like they'll be like reminisce about the good old days when there was more white
You know
people.
what? You
It's
know
just
what
like,
bothers
who
me
cares?
more is when people come to the country
Yeah.
and then they complain about how much they hate it and want
Yeah.
to go
It's
back,
like, go
but they
back.
never go back.
Yeah.
They're
That's
just like,
pretty
oh,
bad
but it's
too.
it's nice, it's livable.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
but
if you don't like the country, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Why are you here? It's one
healthcare.
thing to get like schooling or something and get out, but when you stay here for like 30 years and have a family, and you're still like, fuck this country.
I don't know anybody
Yeah.
like that though.
no,
Yeah, I
but
don't
it's
know
it's
anyone
not
like
even
that.
like my mom's
Yeah,
like,
I've seen
oh,
it.
I
Actually,
like white people.
Yeah,
and
my
stuff.
dad, he doesn't really like it in Canada. But I guess he stays. It's
Well, it's
his
for the
children,
family. Yeah. There's situations where it makes sense, but there are people that just like I don't know. They just I guess they can't afford to go. I don't know. But I don't know.
Why-
If you like the country,
why wouldn't you like
then
Canada?
stay. If you don't like it, go.
Because
Do you know-
nice
do you know
to
why?
Stephen Harper.
Because nice to
Do you know
I don't
why?
like the
Because our
country.
government is shitty, and honestly,
Well,
I'm
I guess
getting
if
sick
you're
of this.
against socialism and everything, right?
Not even that. Like one thing that actually really shocked me that I read about a little while ago. Do you guys know what Sharia law is?
No,
Nope.
I
Okay,
know laws.
essentially, it's this religious law that pertains to Muslims, which allows you to take full control of your wife and the women in your family, and essentially, you rule them.
Yeah.
So, like, you're their form of government. You can do whatever you want to them. Like, if you want to, you can just throw them out on the street, and they have no say.
Wait,
in
is
it.
this in Canada?
No, this
Okay.
is in Muslim countries where
Okay,
they have
yeah,
this law.
Yeah, I
Essentially,
remember
they
this, yeah.
decided that they wanted to bring it to Canada. So a couple
Oh.
of distinct Muslim groups decided that they wanted to get that into Canada. Do you know how many votes it lost by when it went through
Like 3?
to the Senate? Four.
4.
Four
Damn.
votes. And why didn't it go through?
It's like the price is right.
Because it violates basic human rights.
Yeah.
The second that law actually passes, think about it, because there's so many people from other countries coming in, so many coming from Muslim countries
Oh, yeah.
that would want that law here. The second
It
that
can
law
very well
comes in
happen.
here, I'm moving to the States. I don't even fucking care if it's filled with rednecks. At least it's people who
At
aren't
least
gonna...
they're white.
No, I don't even care about that. It's the fact that if that law actually passes,
This guy finally gets
like
it.
my dad could tell me to move back in with him, and
Yeah.
I would be completely subjected to that.
Yeah,
No,
the
yeah,
female
that's
point of
No,
view,
it's
yeah.
not right. Like my brother would be basically the boss of my
I-
mom, you know, and
I don't think that would ever come to pass. That
You
would
never
seem
know.
like-
It's
four
the amount-
votes in 2006.
In
4
2006?
votes. Yeah.
Shit.
And think about it.
with the
about it.
influx still going on, yeah, there's a very good chance.
There's a very good chance that one day that bill will pass.
And we're seeing turbans in the Senate.
Oh yeah.
These
Urban.
votes are like people inside the government, right?
Yeah.
It's not us. We don't
Yeah.
get a choice.
No.
No, it's
No.
like
Too bad.
I love
what
that.
I was trying to figure out. Why don't we, as a province, get to vote for the people who are going to be the new leader of the Liberal Party? Because I saw that and I'm like, well, if it's all these people we fucking elected to represent that are electing this chick, like, what if the majority of people don't like her? Why don't the people of Ontario get to vote? Like, it's not even like
well,
it's that
it's a representation
difficult.
of the
It-
party. It's not a representation of.
Yeah, I understand that, but if you think about it, it's more.
Well, it's
Still
really
someone
their
who's
shit.
representing your province. Like, why don't we get a say in that? I understand it's going to cost more, but I think I would rather have a say in directly who's going to be running the province, like being able to pick that leader than anything.
Well, then you're going to pick it.
Well, they vote for the leader of the party, not the leader of the...
then you're going to vote for which party.
Yeah.
It is kind of shitty still.
But then you get into that whole thing where all the leaders were shitty for the federal... For the federal stuff, and like nobody wanted to vote for Michael Ignatieff.
Well, you could not vote. You can choose to not vote.
That's stupid. You should be able
you should
to have,
want at least one.
Why do you think the NDP is now the official opposition of the Conservative Party? Because nobody wanted to vote Liberal, and literally they're like, oh well, fuck it, nobody's gonna vote for the NDP anyways because they're a piece of shit, and like that happened, and it's like none of the leaders were any good, so why vote in the first place? We still have to because we needed to have a leader, but they were all crappy anyways.
I think something we should do is internet voting. You know, kind of like a Reddit system.
That would be so much easier.
You should post it on the internet and let people vote.
Yeah, honestly,
for it.
It would get so many more people into it.
Yeah, because you don't have to leave your house with the way society is, lazy and shit. Like everybody here, pretty much.
Like it's
and then like people on the internet have fucking opinions. Like Reddit's a very opinionated place. Like people actually back up their shit on Reddit most of the time.
Which
like
is wonderful.
There's good people that could be voting, but they just don't.
I know it's not a perfect system. Like it can get hacked. People from other countries can come in, but I still think it's better than what we have now.
Like going to a little elementary school's gymnasium, stand in a line for an hour and a half to
vote for people you don't even care about.
Yeah.
I just wish Jack Layton didn't die, man.
He was so beautiful. I went and I wrote on his wall, like the wall in downtown Toronto when he died. Me and my sister went. I drew a big mustache and I colored it.
Oh, that's nice.
I loved his mustache.
I don't have a wall.
He was a good guy.
He was a good
guy. Our parliament is full of the most boring people in the world. Like,
except what was the name of the guy that was talking about that thing I saw?
President Camacho.
Oh, no, I can't think about it. I think it was Jim Flaherty who was talking about something. I don't remember, but he's very loud.
Samuel L. Jackson. Politics. It's probably Samuel L. Jackson.
All right, motherfuckers.
All right, motherfucker, Canadians.
Monday to Friday.
The worst thing is seeing how they're like Parliament acts like they're 5-year-olds. When they don't get their way, they start banging the boards on there. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you guys 5? I would go in there and I would just be like,
you should see other Asian countries.
We don't disagree with something.
You
just start banging on
Taiwan,
the table.
they actually
and I'm
battle
like,
each
can
other
you not? You're like 5.
Yeah,
in Taiwan, they actually fight physically. They fight each other.
I would love to see that happen between Stephen Harper and someone. Then we would know if he's actually a robot.
What the fuck?
Where is
this conversation
Are you talking about conspiracy theories or politics? I can't tell.
It wouldn't shock me at all if he was a robot. He has no emotions.
Really?
Have you ever seen him say goodbye to his kids when he's doing like the big formal thing and he's sending his kids off to school? He shakes their hands.
Oh, that's cold.
Goodbye, son. Goodbye, dog.
You know, if he was like German, I'd let that pass.
No, because then he'd be Hitler, and I don't agree with that.
I would. Jewish. Hey, man. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We have a Jew in the building. We can't say anything now.
Damn straight.
I like how you just said German. It's just like Hitler.
German Hitler. First word that comes to your mind.
Yeah, you racist fuck.
Yeah.
I say German. Oh yeah, he's Hitler. All Germans are Nazis.
German Hitler. Soccer Hitler.
No wonder.
Hot dog Hitler.
No wonder he killed so many Jews because you guys are so racist.
My people looked after him when he got kicked out. Like, he didn't make it into art school and he was starving on the street. And we bought his artwork and we gave him a place to stay. Okay.
No, the Germans did that.
No, that was Jewish Germans.
Well, he was Jewish.
The Germans. He just killed himself. Oh, wait, he did.
There's no Jewish.
You don't know that. They didn't find
Jewish
bodies.
Hitler.
He'd still be around.
Shut up!
Jewish Hitler.
Oh god.
It's like a conspiracy.
You know, I have this
Jewish.
theory that if I ever end up like having a kid with like a racist German guy, he could be like.
Wait,
like,
what?
So you're gonna marry a racist German? Oh, well,
so
assuming you're into the marriage to children thing.
No, I am not.
Whoa.
No.
I'm
I'm just saying, like, if I did that, that would be like the neo-Hitler or something, and all those neo-Nazis would have their leaders. So, like, I'm just gonna swear off German guys now. Like, I think that's
he's gonna
the
become a historical figure.
I think that's
he's
racist.
Gonna save the economy of somewhere.
I think that's what Hitler wants you to
I think
say. That's what Hitler wants you to say.
I think you're expecting a little bit much from your child. You're saying that he's gonna make it to the top. He's gonna be the best. He's gonna like persuade all these people to follow him.
That's pretty cocky, actually.
Yeah, it's a
No,
little
I'm
bit
just saying,
arrogant.
does that not seem logical? Because like I'm technically like I'm
I think it's happened before.
like somebody who's Jewish, married,
Yeah,
and
that's
had
probably
a kid
happened before.
with like a racist German guy, and
Yeah,
I
that's
think there's
probably
been quite a
happened
bit.
before.
Yeah, there's
No.
been quite a few people that have
Yeah.
done that, and we haven't seen another Hitler yet. And
Yes.
saying that yours is gonna be the one. Yes, I know my kid is gonna be the shit.
He's gonna be the
No.
next Hitler.
I'm taking bets.
Wait, speaking of being arrogant, I wanted to bring this up before. Like, when I went to China, right? I'd be like, I feel like I was a shit, right? I'm the only one here that can speak English. Look at all these retards around that can't speak English. I just felt like so arrogant.
Where in China did you go?
I don't know. I don't remember. But
The one with the
But
dumbasses.
then, like, if I think about it now, I can't even speak Mandarin. They can all speak Mandarin. I
At
can't
first
even
you were
read.
just like, all these barbarians can speak English.
I can't even read or write
I would
Chinese.
colonize them.
That's why.
Steal their land.
Steal their land and rape their women.
That's why I always I talk about Scandinavia all the time. I think it's an amazing place, like Denmark.
Scandinavia is.
Because you go there, everyone speaks fluent fucking English, like beautiful English, better English than like most of us, and you just feel like a fucking idiot. You feel like
I don't want to
shit.
go there.
And they,
Because they can speak, Danish. They probably got Swedish, Finnish, whatever.
Scandinavian.
And Scandinavian.
and then they have like the cutest little accents and stuff too. Like our calculus professor, she's got a really nice accent. Except we found out she's actually Russian. But our biology
Russian, German, same thing.
But our biology professor, she was Swedish, and she had like the best accent. She was so cute.
Oh, isn't that like your chemistry
Biology?
teacher? Like
Huh?
your
No,
chemistry
our
teacher?
biology
No.
professor for.
No, your chemistry teacher has like a German accent.
Oh, is this still Stewie?
My
Yeah.
chemistry teacher?
Yeah, he's like,
no, it's
"Doi,
not.
doi."
No.
That's nowhere's at rain.
It's not.
It's nothing.
Make it
Really?
rain.
Yeah.
Every one of my professors or like
shit.
TAs, they all have an accent.
None of my TAs do, except this
Yeah.
one
Really?
Chinese guy I had for physics.
That's
Oh my god.
Andy. He's like,
This is how
That's
I
me.
knew that like I'm terrible with like accents and stuff. He was sitting there trying to explain something to me, and he said "shui," and I'm like, "What?"
What
And he's
is
like,
that?
"Shui," and I'm like, "What? Shui?" And he's like, "No, shui," and I'm like, and then he drew the number 3. I'm like, "Oh, 3!" And he's sitting there, and he's just like, "Shui."
I didn't even know it.
What?
I was
I
like
felt
tree.
so bad and so
Yeah.
racist.
That's
and I'm
a
like,
very
oh my
white
God.
problem.
It is because
I even do that with like most Asian, like really
I'm just
bobby
like-
accents. Oof, I
Yeah,
feel
like when
terrible.
people ask
Yeah,
me,
if you
feel-
speak louder,
I
you
feel
can do like that.
terrible.
Like
I feel
me?
terrible.
No, and then
Especially you.
what's
I'm-
even
I'm the
worse is
thickest
when like
accent.
white people think that speaking louder is going to
Yeah.
make them understand better. I'm like,
God.
I'm like, tone it the fuck down. If they don't understand, just say sorry. Can I speak to someone
It's
else?
not just
or
a white thing, though.
just
Yeah,
pretend
it's a white
you
thing,
understand
yeah.
because I do a lot of non-pretending.
I just said that
Very
it was
expert
not
white guy.
a white thing.
No, it's a white thing.
No, I find that
It's not
people-
a white thing, but a lot of time.
Yeah.
when
So just
Asians are only loud when like during like a restaurant. That's when they're loud.
That pisses me off. You have no idea how many times I did not bring people their food out very quickly when they were really loud.
Really?
Because
Come on,
honestly,
man.
no, they're the worst when they're really loud. And
You would
and,
hate
like,
us.
Oh, we're loud as fuck.
No, because I know
Sushi
it's
the
you
other day.
guys, but when people are like obnoxiously loud,
Oh,
it's
that's
kind
me.
of like
That's us.
I'm not going to bring you your drinks right away. Like I'm going to cause some delays. I don't even care if you fucking tip me
Oh
at the
my
end of the night.
God.
I'm gonna make it the worst experience you've ever had and
Wow.
remind you to
Why?
be quiet.
You're hired to do a job
What the
though.
hell?
Yeah,
She's
but
like,
you're
why I know you?
What the hell?
Fuck.
Oh no, we all do it. We all did it when we worked there. When
No,
people
you
were,
notice-
were loud, terrible service.
Why?
We didn't want them to come back. They were loud. They disturbed our other guys.
But you're
you know
getting
what?
money,
the
though.
Restaurant,
Oh my
the restaurant
God.
industry is pretty fucked up, actually. I told you about what my dad used to do.
Wasn't it
What?
he used
He-
to throw people
he
up
was-
against walls?
There was not that. No, when he was a bus,
Oh yeah, he used to like put it on the floor
yeah, he
and
didn't.
squish
He
it
didn't
around.
take anyone's shit, even if it was like pretty
Oh, yeah.
reasonable to be honest.
You
Yeah,
told me this.
if someone would ask their steak to be done like more, like if it was too rare or something, he would take it, throw it on the fucking floor, step on it, spit on it, and put it back on the plate, and make them eat it, and then they'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is great."
What?
Yeah.
They eat
Yeah,
it?
yeah, because they'd just
Oh.
be like, "Okay, I'm
We're
sure they
bitches.
fixed fixed it.
But then, doesn't anybody else, like, if you ask somebody to do something a second time, like, I feel bad about asking someone to do it a
Sometimes
second
you
time.
gotta do it.
But then, like, when it comes back and it's still not done right, I'm like, okay, great, thanks.
Yeah, I don't
'Cause I
ask
don't
a
want to
second
ask like a third time.
I can't do that. I don't have the nerve for it.
Yeah,
Unless you're at like a fancy ass place, like they gotta get it right. You're paying for something, right?
Oh yeah.
But if you're at like just a medium place, because even at a cheap place, then I'm gonna be like, yeah, whatever. Like I pay for whatever. But if it's like just sort of like Swiss Chalet or something, like that kind of stuff, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, this could have been better. Like, could you, you know? But yeah, second time that's a tall order.
Like the saying is, don't fuck with people who handle your food, right?
Yeah, you don't.
Has
like,
anyone done that to you?
There was this guy I used to work with.
Don't give his name
Yeah.
out. Don't give his
No. Let everyone in the world know.
Okay, no. His name was Curtis. Okay,
Okay,
and like he was really really nice to me, and like me and him got along really really well until one day he I don't even know who it was, but some guy was being like a real asshole to me. Like I was serving them and they were being like real jerks, and I was pissed off. And he asked me about it, so I told him. What did he do? He dropped their dessert on the floor and picked it back up, and then gave them like half frozen ice cream from the new bucket that we just got delivered. And like I took it out, and they're like, "Excuse me, can you fix this? Like that's wrong." And I'm just like, "No, that's exactly what you ordered, and that's exactly what it looks like." And we made them take it, and like, and they didn't even tip me at the end. And I'm like, I don't even care because you guys were fucking dicks. I'm not even kidding. Like, you do not piss off the people that handle your food. Long story short, you do not know if it's going to end up on the floor, because more than one time I have seen people actually drop stuff on the floor and be like, 5-second rule, and pick it up. And I'm just like, do you see the grease on the floor?
Get down!
Yeah, like, things can be dropped, which is why, like, I will probably never eat out at a restaurant again in my entire life without being able to see the kitchen.
That's true. It's a harrowing experience.
It is, yeah. After having worked in a restaurant, like you just can't do that to yourself. You just can't go and eat somewhere else and just be like, oh yeah, I totally trust what they're doing. Unless it's a spaghetti factory, I don't even fucking care. They are delicious.
I don't know. I feel like places, like good, nice places, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I trust these people. But if you go to like sketchy ass places or a new place, then I'm kind of like, I don't care. If the food's good, it's good.
Yeah.
Even if it was on the floor.
I don't know how far someone could take it just to act like dicks to everybody. Now I'll talk about the customers. Like,
customers? There have been some nasty ones.
Why do you decide to be like, I'm just gonna be a complete dick to them? That justifies everything.
Because they're like, oh, I'm paying for this meal. I'm paying you, so you should do everything I want you to do and perfectly because I'm paying.
Yeah,
which
but
in a way makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's a
service.
service. You're getting paid for it.
But I guess like it demoralizes you, right? You become a service. You become a material object instead.
Exactly.
Of,
yeah. Like it's
you have to
awesome.
treat them like you.
Like the worst thing that's ever
the
happened.
same thing is with like a boss at work, right? If like he's just like telling you like shit to do all day, right? He's just like treating you like shit, right? He's treating you like a robot. He's not treating you like a person.
Yeah, you have to have a personal aspect to it. Like the worst thing that's ever happened to me when I was working, I worked a banquet once, and basically everybody there got shit faced and we cut them off. Some guy actually put a $50 bill in my skirt and asked me to go and get him another drink after we had cut him off. Like, we kicked him out. Yep. Because like, that was...
That's
what I was thinking about. You can do that to me all day. I'll wear a skirt, I'll do everything.
No, but that's just wrong.
That's
you know,
wrong
that's seeing somebody as an object as well. You know, like this is like it's just.
No, that's bad. That's just
that
bad.
was,
like,
can't do that.
No.
I can say that's the worst thing that's ever happened. Although it's really nice when you get like really nice customers that always come back and like they take the time. No, not even old ladies. Like I've had a couple of like guys just because I could bartend, right? Like I had a couple of guys that would come back all the time just because they liked me or whatever. You know, like they would.
Wait, bartend? You were Bart?
Yeah, you only have to be 18 to bartend.
I didn't know that.
Cool.
Yeah, you can get it at 18.
It's fucking cool.
Yeah. And
like
pretty
badass.
Yeah, I make a mean drink. Like all my friends' 19th birthday parties, they just supply me with liquor, and I do stuff. Like,
do it.
It's
one
fantastic.
for you, one for you. Oh, it should.
Not a shot,
Me,
though.
one for
Bartender. Although that would be fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I always liked the idea of bartending.
Your birthday's coming up, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an idea.
There's an idea.
Go get drunk.
But yeah, like
Yeah, you don't drink.
Yeah, but when you get like really nice customers and stuff, it's just really nice. You know, when they take the time to know your name. Like you're not usually given name tags at like nice restaurants, and I worked at a pretty nice Greek one, right? And like they want to know your name. You know, they tip you well. They'll come back and they'll ask if you're there. You know, they'll like if you're like clearing table or whatever, they'll kind of have a conversation with you or something. You know,
I kind of find
nice.
that
it's really nice. But as long like I won't instigate it. As long as they bring me into it, I'm okay with that because I respect people's space when you're
sometimes people just want to go eat.
But if you get really nice people who are like, you know what, like this waitress seems like she could be like a really awesome person in real life, and they want you to like kind of like hang out with them for a bit, like that's cool, especially when it's like the end of your shift and you don't really have much to do because there's only a couple people left on the patio. If you go out and like sit with them for a bit, like have a drink or something, like it's fun. You meet some really interesting people that way. You do. And as long as people are nice to me, I'll be nice to them back. Like the people who are actually really nice when you're working really make it worthwhile. Plus they tip really nicely, which is also very nice.
But where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line between like being an asshole and being like, okay, clearly they're not doing their job right and something's wrong? Where do we draw the line?
Really?
I
That came out of.
I think you should just
rephrase
it.
it.
It
Nice to
depends.
everyone.
Are you talking about where do we draw the line with a bad customer, or where do customers draw the line with bad service?
If a waitress is terrible.
If you have not done anything to piss them off, i.e. you're not loud, your kid's not screaming, and your kid's in place, like you're not complaining about the slow
I'm not
service
talking about the
or
customer.
anything.
I'm talking about the waitress.
Yeah, I mean, like if we haven't done anything wrong, or like the customer hasn't done anything wrong, but we're still like really slow, or we're not very friendly, or like it just doesn't seem like an overall tolerable experience to you, that's where you would draw the line. But if like your kid's screaming or something like that,
why would you be intentionally terrible? Like, I'm sorry to be the devil's advocate, but like, why would you intentionally do a shitty job for somebody just because they're an asshole?
Yeah, that's.
Because most of the time it's not enough to kick them out, and you really don't want them to come back.
But okay,
It's money though.
There's a mature way to do it. But
Yeah.
It depends how you do it. Like if you're just a blatant
I'd never do
douche,
that because.
Oh no. There's always.
I'm just too scared to do that. They might find out and like.
Are you kidding? Some of the stuff that we ended up doing at my work, my bosses would applaud us because some of the people would come back. Sometimes like they think, oh, like it was just the one waitress or something. Somebody will be like, oh yeah, by the way, they're like a really shitty tipper, or like they will complain about the service endlessly, or whenever they bring their kid, they will not stop screaming and they won't tell their kid to shut up, and their kid will run around and disturb other guests.
Tell that's a recurring theme here.
Oh my god, screaming kids. If I could, I would be like, if I ever were to open a restaurant one day, my rule would be no kids under the age of 7.
Some people shouldn't be parents.
Some people should not be parents. That is great. Like, I was talking to my English teacher about this once, how I think people who should not have children should get fixed. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even getting cut any slack. If, like, you have absolutely I just can't deal with you, and you just can't parent children, like,
isn't that the same thing as an abortion?
No.
No,
Abortion is killing something that has been created.
It's easy to say.
Maybe let's like steer off this topic, maybe, because that's like very controversial.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather not just.
That's the good stuff.
Yeah, that's
man.
the good stuff. Just bring it up.
What did we talk about today? Necrophilia?
Yeah, come on, that's the good shit.
Assholes.
That's what we have to tackle.
Like, babies, that's where we draw the line.
Yeah, no,
Fucking
come on.
dead people. Yeah.
Well, if you're uncomfortable about talking
Yeah,
about it, you
it
don't have to.
depends.
Feel free to talk about anime.
I just don't think that's something that should really be discussed.
Alright.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's a very sensitive topic. Think about it.
What?
It's just,
I know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think maybe
I'm pretty
babies
open. I don't
is-
give a
It's
shit.
too easy.
For people?
Yeah,
Like,
anyone can fucking do it.
and they don't realize like how like such an impact it has on your life, like having babies.
Yeah, because people take it for granted. You fuck and you get pregnant and you have a kid. Oh wow, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I often
So
think
it's-
it's so
it's-
magical. What is this like? Something comes out of your dick, goes into someone, and then baby.
Yeah.
And then baby. I like this
fuse,
equation.
They fuse DNA like it's like Vegeta and Goku. They fuse together and they create like a
Have
car.
sex.
That's how you have sex, right?
Yeah.
That's what
You
it
do
is.
this.
That would be a great way to have sex, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, it's an amazing thing that people have taken for granted now, because it's just, I think it's just the whole way society views sex and all that. That's sort of it just happens. Shit
crazy,
happens and you get a baby.
Yeah.
And then, oh God, I have a fucking baby now. Ugh.
Yeah.
Like it's a burden, and then you think, maybe I shouldn't do it, and then you start to neglect it because you don't have the heart to put it
Is
up
winter
for
coming,
adoption.
Andy?
Then you have a shitty kid, and then winter's here.
Oh my God. Winter is coming.
Winter's
Okay.
in my face.
What does here, man?
He doesn't watch it.
He doesn't watch it.
He gets
Man,
the.
there
I
was
watched first.
There was
episode.
this guy in my high school. His last name was Winter, like actually spelled
Okay.
like the season, right? And in his yearbook, this guy drew a giant dick with like jizz coming out of the top. He wrote right beside it, "Winter is coming," and like it was beautiful. Like
Remember
that
when we used
was
to draw dicks.
I told her about Cthulhu.
Oh yeah.
what?
Yeah, what? Do you have it still?
I should.
There's
There's
one
a
page that every time we would like be bored, we just draw dicks and try to fill in every little space with dicks.
It's basically just the maximum surface area of dicks you could possibly have. You know how in biology you learn about the villi, and there's like protrusions on the villi to maximize surface area? It's that with dicks.
Yeah. Remember when your brother opened it? And
Yeah.
He was like, "This is impressive."
I had no idea what he would say at first, and he was like, "Wow, this is kind of amazing." Oh my god.
Should post that on Reddit.
I actually should.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
God,
there's
the
a lot
karma.
of shit, a lot of random shit.
We have a
I'd
lot of weird
downvote it,
stuff in
just
that
so you know.
agenda. Huh?
I would downvote that.
Downvote it?
I would downvote
I
it.
thought you said you would downvote
I don't
it.
download anything.
Yes, I just
I would,
stare at it
yeah.
all day. Of
Just
course.
download it and
What a
just
masterpiece.
sing.
Put it on your desktop. Every
That
time
would
you
be
open
my
your
wallpaper.
computer.
Frame it.
My mom goes
Frame
on
it.
my laptop all the time, and like she was bitching about this the other day. I have a wallpaper of the guy
Dicks?
who plays the guy who plays Hannibal Lecter
Well, I would
in Hannibal Rise. It's a really cute one.
We
And,
really
like,
should.
he's got like blood dripping down his face and like somebody's heart in his hand and stuff. And like I love the Hannibal series, and I was like,
I love
yes,
Dick.
he's killing someone, awesome. And my mom's like, Rebecca, that's just disturbing. Take it off there. I'm like, Mom, no.
Replace it with the dick.
Yeah, something more disturbing. Replace it with.
Yeah. All right, it's gone.
And like now I just have the
Animal
one of him with like
Animal porn.
he's wearing the Hannibal mask
Oh, yeah.
and he's
Dog
got red
dick.
eyes, and like every time my mom turns it on it scares the shit out of her. I'm like, is this not better than the one where he had blood dripping down his face? At least you can't see his face. And she's just like, that's even still creepy.
If she keeps
What is-
complaining, you
what is-
really should
what is-
put like the
what is-
worst thing
is
you
that
can
like a
find
show or
on
something?
your
What is
desktop.
that?
No,
Is
it's
it like
a movie.
Twilight?
No.
Is it like
Twilight?
Twilight?
It's like
What?
Twilight. Like I really want to throw
Hannibal.
something at you, but all I have is a watch and an iPhone, so I'm not gonna do
iPhone.
that.
Just punch
iPhone.
No.
You know what I don't understand about Twilight? How like
How
he's,
shitty it is.
How shitty it is.
Everything.
how like he's like 500 years old, yet he still wants like a white girl, like a white high school girl.
Hot.
You would think
Hey man,
you
don't
would
judge
think his
fetishes.
taste would mature,
Yeah,
right?
like at least
Yeah.
A 70-year-old.
It's a fetish.
at least to Asians, right? At least to Asians.
No, but you would
Exotic.
if you think about it,
Exotic.
maybe he did.
Like okay, like 500 years, you'd get like some like what he's probably in Europe, right? So all he's fucking is like white girls for like 500 years.
Probably like
Why would he go back to white?
Because she's the whitest of the white. Like she's
She's
so
very
white.
white.
It's like
She plays Snow
it's like
White.
her own breed of white. It's like albino, but
you would
like
have
not.
yeah, no, that's why you would have to go from like the opposite side of the spectrum. You'd have to like
Go black.
go black.
But once
get,
you
like,
go black, you never go back.
yeah, exactly.
Because like
Nicki
where is
Minaj.
there
She'd-
like
That would be a good movie. Nicki Minaj and that.
And Edward.
there would be
Edward.
I
so
don't know
much
why I
glitter
know.
involved in that, and by glitter I mean like actual legit glitter, not just like his skin is shiny.
Comes glitter.
Okay.
I'd see like
And it like rains
You
down.
know how you guys did King Fear,
Yeah.
right?
I could see
We
Michael
had to
Jackson
do that for
doing that.
Hamlet. My
Just
group,
replace
we
the semen with glitter.
did 300, right? So we were all
I
smart.
did 300 too.
No way, mine was way better. Okay. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, challenge!
Okay.
Oh.
okay.
Yeah, actually,
Oh.
you're making some
No,
bold
no,
plays.
Yeah,
no,
you're
no,
making
no,
some bold
Ours
plays.
was way better. We had
Okay.
fight, like it was amazing. I actually have it. If you guys have a computer,
He had
that
like
has a disk
Keanu
drive.
Reeves.
We'll watch it later.
Yeah. Okay. But anyways, there was this group that did it like Twilight between Ophelia and Hamlet, and the guy who played Edward was brown, but they like painted him white.
Wow.
They literally got out white paint and completely painted his body white,
doused
okay?
That's
And then they doused him in glitter. They covered him in glitter. They threw 3 bottles of glitter on this guy.
Oh my
and
God.
like
Wait, white
That's
people-
great.
Yo, it took
Wait,
must have
white
taken like
people
a
shiny?
week to wash all that
That's
off.
true. Yeah.
That's
glitter is like the herpes of craft supplies.
Look at this shine.
Like, like you think
you
you've
win.
got it all,
I think
like
you
you
win.
think it's gone away, and like it just comes back. It's fucking herpes, but for craft supplies. So like this guy is like some brown guy, completely covered in white paint, covered in glitter. Teacher walks up to him, shakes his hand, and says, "You are the best fucking Edward Cullen I've ever seen in my entire fucking life." And I'm just like looking at this guy, and like everybody is just like crying because they're laughing so hard about how this brown guy is Edward Cullen. And literally, there was glitter in that classroom up until like
probably still there.
that was 3 years ago for grade 12 English.
Wait,
and
they didn't film it?
no, they didn't film it. We
Method
filmed ours,
actor.
but
They
like
didn't film it. What? They just fucked with them?
no, you had to perform it. You performed it in
Don't worry,
class.
it's
You
recorded.
didn't
It's recorded.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah,
It's
like you
recorded.
guys had to film yours. We only had to perform ours in class.
No, we
Mine.
didn't have to film.
Oh, they
Yeah, we
performed in
chose to.
class.
Okay. But like we filmed ours and
did so
performed it in
hard.
class.
Yeah.
Like if we actually made a video, it probably would have been 10 times better. But for a class performance, it was
He's
pretty
like,
good.
okay, so this is the scene where Edward gives a blowjob.
Oh,
And
I remember that one.
Oh,
This was in the movie, right? Yeah. You gotta do it.
Yeah, all right, we're rolling. Go.
roll.
Yeah, we're
Bro,
rolling.
like, don't you need a camera for this?
No, it's all cool. It's all
Alright,
cool.
good.
Yeah, like everybody was
I got a water
watching
bottle.
this thing, and this was 3 years ago. This was
Yeah.
the people who graduated the year before Dan, which was my sister's grade.
Cool.
And I knew the guy from my sister. Anyways, Uman's just totally chilling there and like completely okay with being painted white and covered in glitter. And like I'm sitting here and like we're watching this. To this day, you can go in that classroom and there is still glitter in there.
rumors say.
I'm not even kidding.
Legends
So-
say.
There is a prophecy.
And anyways, when we had to do our 1300 thing, we wanted to cover Eric in glitter because he played Xerxes, right? And like I begged him to
Wait,
let me cover him in glitter. I'm like, please, Eric,
Yeah,
let
they
me
changed
cover
it.
you
They
in
changed
glitter.
it.
Oh,
And
okay.
and he wouldn't let me cover him in glitter, and there was no glitter in that room. But
I
we
know.
saw the floor.
I
had
would do
glitter on
anything
it.
for a
Go
fucking
naked.
roll. I went naked in a schoolyard.
You were not
yeah.
naked.
Were you?
Yes, I was.
Were you
No, you
naked?
Yeah.
I just have a really big genital area.
Yeah.
No.
It needed it had to all be blocked up. We had trouble.
Oh yeah, when you filmed that, what was it? Did you just wear underwears? You just wear like?
I wore nothing.
He was naked.
No, you weren't.
No, you could wear like underwears.
I don't believe that. There
No,
were
it was-
children at that park.
It was really cold.
There were
Show them the rough
children
works.
at that
Why
park.
do you think I said I would do anything for a roll? It was cold out too.
Right beside the school.
He's cold out, so
So
his
there really
package
wasn't much to
wasn't
look
as
at. It was
impressive.
really cold.
You're not naked.
The bush covered everything.
Yeah, it was really just hair we were covering.
Ew,
because
Dang.
I mean, it was so cold. It was so cold.
Everything. It wasn't there.
It was almost yeah. It pretty
Went
much
inside.
It pretty much went inside for comfort. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks,
We went
guys.
to-
So I was
we went
fucking
to a
naked.
place.
No, you weren't. I don't believe that.
Yeah, he was fucking naked.
I was
doesn't?
Fucking and naked.
Yeah, you don't know what happened off camera with me and Ricky.
Oh,
Okay.
Shit.
You don't get it with the
That's all.
Spelled some Chinese. You've been in UTSC for too long. You just said thank you, man.
Oh god, you know you're at UTSC. Okay, have you guys seen the spotted page for UTSC on Facebook?
Spotted. What is that?
Okay, essentially it's a
it
Facebook
like a
page
herpes
where
thing?
people who
Okay.
see like people they think are attractive, they'll write an anonymous thing to one of the admins, and then the admin will post the message. So it's essentially like a spotted thing in the newspaper.
I think
What
Ricky's
is
in
like
this.
a
Wait,
shout outs or
this
whatever.
is love letter
Okay,
shit.
okay.
Yeah,
Is there
essentially,
pictures?
you know you're
Is there
UTSC when like every post is about a brown girl. Or my favorite thing, it's literally it's like to the attractive guys sitting at the library. You make me think haram things. I'm like, what does that mean? And I look
Whoa.
it up, and I'm like, oh my god, it's the brown word for dirty. And I'm like, oh.
You make me think of curry.
I you remind me of
And
Masala.
like, my best friend friend goes to Queens, and she has one of those pages for Queens, and it's all white people on there. They're like to the attractive white blonde guy who was at the Arc on Saturday night.
Blue eyes.
You gotta check that.
I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, I totally picked the wrong school.
The Aryan race.
For the Aryan race.
Your hair is like the finest silk in Calcutta.
Super Saiyan.
To the Super Saiyan on the left.
Oh my God,
That, and
that's
when you walk
hilarious.
down the hallway and you don't know what people are saying because it's either in Mandarin or in like Punjabi or
Wait, why you want
Arabic
to
or
listen to
something.
people?
Or Indian.
Oh my god,
Brown.
that's not a language, is it?
Or in yellow.
Yellow. Green
Yeah,
square.
Indian.
Stop speaking Chinese.
He's
No.
speaking in circles.
Oh my god. You know, whenever there's so many mainlanders here, you'll know they're a mainlander when they have those hipster glasses. You know what I'm talking about?
Like tortoiseshell glasses?
No, those aren't even hipster glasses.
No,
yeah, there we go.
Hipster glasses are in trend now.
They're
though.
like a
Everyone's
Maybe
wearing
on the
them.
hips.
No, it's just that it pisses me off because all the mainlanders look the goddamn same. You know what I
We
mean?
can't,
What
we
are
can't tell you
mainlanders?
like. I mean,
I look like
What are mainlanders?
you two are
Chinese
pretty much
mainlanders
mainland
that speak
China?
Mandarin.
from
Yeah.
mainland China,
yeah, we call it mainland
Yeah.
China.
and then Hong Kong.
Like it's people who just came from China,
So like
Bobby.
Bobs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bobs.
alright.
mainland.
I don't
So
know.
they don't
Maybe
know what
they
we're
look up
talking
on the
about.
internet like fashion in
look
America,
exactly
and then
the
they get
same.
hipsters.
Whoa, hipster glasses.
There is little variation between this one girl and this other girl. I don't know why I pointed at you. This other girl, and
I'm
this
clearly
other
a girl.
Oh, thanks.
And like, I don't understand what's so great about the
We be on
glasses.
I think it looks good.
It's
I
fashionable.
think it's a
Okay,
nice
depending
fashion.
on the person.
Yeah.
Depending on the person, they can look good. Like
Yeah,
there
yeah.
was this guy I went to high school with who like I didn't think they would work for because he was like the brownest guy I knew. Not even kidding. Like he had
Was he
like
covered
a-
in glitter?
He had like no, he was
Yeah,
not.
Tusks.
He had like the biggest beard I'd ever seen
had
on a
6
person in
hands.
my entire life. Like it was huge. So
Wait, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
A
really
beard.
big.
Talking
beard.
about the
Big
beard.
beard.
I want a beard.
Big
I'm sorry.
black beard.
We don't know
I
anything
always
about that.
skew towards.
Okay, but anyways, like,
We're like,
he was
we
like the brownest
we didn't
guy
hear
ever, and
anything,
then
so
he
we're gonna replace it
And
with
he
Dick.
like just put on the glasses, and we're all like, "Holy shit!
You're
Like
hot.
Krish looks hot. I would fuck Krish." And then like, yeah,
You just made Krish feel really good about himself.
Yeah,
we
it's too bad he's
did.
not
We
viewing.
did. But anyways,
Made
yeah,
him feel
like
real good.
He's here right now.
It just comes in like Jerry Springer. I'm not the father.
That's Maury.
Is that Maury? What's the difference?
no, well, then again, like 3/4 of all girls in my high school thought Krish was like the shit because he's like the nicest guy ever.
Oh,
Oh, that's
And
like
he's really good at math.
Oh,
Nice guy.
nice
Oh,
guy.
he's good at math
Nice
and he's
guy.
nice. Like, I'd
so
fuck
nice.
him.
He goes to math class. I'd fuck him.
He's, like,
He's
the
nice.
nicest- Oh, and he likes philosophy, so I've had
Oh,
some pretty good
Oh,
chats
selling
with him.
point.
I would fuck his brains out.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
you
just
would.
fucking agree.
I'd blank his brains out.
I'd go through
Yeah,
his ear.
Krish is
I'd
like
braid
the
his
nicest
fucks
guy
out.
though. Like I'm not even kidding. Every girl absolutely adored him, and I didn't really understand it.
You're
I've
trying to
known
be a
Krish
nice guy
since
now.
grade 9. We had every math class together,
Alright.
and he was like. He and I
Good
were
guys don't
always
get
very
dick.
good friends. In fact, I was the one that
Good guys
put the
don't get pussy.
valedictorian nomination
Yeah,
around for
Chris
him.
does.
Oh,
And
Who?
and he didn't
Your
want
friend
to
does?
have one put
Oh.
up, but I did anyways because I'm like, Chris, you're gonna be our fucking valedictorian if it kills me.
Fucking.
So
go
Good-
up
good
there.
actor.
Go on the stage and just
Just hump
The
the air.
fucking
he has the
valedictorian.
best
fuck
speech.
the like.
He mentioned me in his speech, and like I
Yeah.
cried for 20 minutes because I'm like, Krish, that was so nice. I was the only person that got a mention.
We wanted
Oh.
Jeffrey. Our
Yeah.
friend
Oh
Jeffrey.
man, this guy, he is like the worst speaker you'll ever meet.
Or the best speaker.
Okay, maybe best and worst.
How you look at it?
Oh man, we wanted to be valedictorian so bad. It would have been so funny.
Great.
He would have just like stuttered and just been like, "What's up, bitches?" Like for the
would've
entire
been-
speech.
bitches?
It would have been kind of sad.
They wouldn't let him because his average wasn't high enough.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Everyone would have voted for him.
But yo, I don't know how Kisa got it. That was bullshit.
Yeah, what the hell happened there?
It's because the teachers like her.
Yeah, but Michelle was
That's
so
the
much
thing,
better.
actually, too. I didn't find this out until I was looking to get Krish's application for valedictorian.
Wait, you got it?
Oh, not.
Shouldn't he get it?
No, I got his application because he didn't want to apply for it.
She
so I
clearly
told him
forced
that-
him. She's like those pressing parents. Like, you gotta be the captain of the football team.
No, okay, like
He
there
didn't
were,
want to be
like,
valedictorian.
if anyone in my entire life, if anyone I'd ever met deserved something so much, it was Krish for valedictorian. I'm telling you.
I think
But
Jeffrey-
anyways, he didn't want to do
Yeah,
it
he
because he
got
felt
bullied.
like there was somebody else who would be better at it, and I'm like, no, Krish, like
Jeffrey.
you, like honestly, he was so perfect for it. So there was the option at our school of either you nominate yourself or somebody else nominates you. So I went and I got the form for people.
You know, where did this Institute of Valedictorian come from? Like, who gives a shit about like
It's
top
something
of the class,
American.
like about like
Yeah, I don't know. Really.
about like representing your class. Who
Standing.
cares? It's
Probably
probably
in high school.
It was
too.
probably just something like some like fucking keener was just like, oh, I didn't get into like any clubs or like any
I see that.
I didn't get voted
I think
for like the
it's-
class president, so I'm just gonna make up this role.
It's to
I
reassure
think-
the parents that like, oh
No.
yeah, we're a good group of like kids, and we
Well,
have it all under lockdown.
The whole point of the valedictorian is to address everyone as an embodiment of the graduating class.
Yeah, which is hilarious.
So it's basically
Yeah.
like, okay, we need somebody to explain like
Well, that's
how our
impossible.
grade 12s found
One
their
person
grade
can't
12
represent
years.
that many people.
No way.
It's
There was
impossible.
especially
no way.
people as different as they are in high school.
Maybe in elementary school that was
Elementary, yeah, but then who's gonna get
Okay.
the
No.
speech in elementary?
I actually
We all like
got showed up
Pokemon.
for my elementary school valedictorian from this fucking asshole who was from the French program. And the only reason why I didn't get it was because I wasn't in the French program.
Oh.
Which pissed me off because everybody who like was in the French program was considered better than us because they were doing something in another language that they're 10 times better.
It's true.
I'm like, fucking
Fucking
no.
French
I
frogs.
was smarter than them. I did more stuff around the school than them. Like I won every
Smarter than
single
them?
other award.
Isn't that
Except for
ironic?
valedictorian.
Ironic.
I was actually so pissed. I'm sitting there and like I was told it was supposed to be me, so I had to start working on a speech.
that's
and then
so
and then a
nice.
week and a half in, the vice principal changed his mind
that's
and was like, "Oh no, we're gonna have the girl
Frenchie.
from the French class do it." And I'm like seriously.
Frog.
Like I almost had my speech done and I still have it in a
Oh,
box
man.
somewhere.
Oh, you
That
probably like
gotta
look at it every
hurt.
night and be like, what could have been?
You should post it. You should
Eddie's-
post it.
Eddie's so
Yeah, you
concerned.
should. If it was like fantastic, you should post it.
It wasn't very good.
Well, then I guess
Principal knew what he was
I guess
doing.
your class was just spared.
Well, no,
God.
I mean, it was
Thank
good.
goodness you didn't get
It was good for a grade 8 student, but looking at it now, I'm like,
Oh,
wow,
wow.
I had fucking terrible grammar. Like,
Well,
so bad.
I like this year.
everyone,
It's good.
like, I just think everyone, like, if you look back, you think you were like fucking.
Oh man, it's painful to look
I
back.
know.
It's
Yeah.
painful.
It
It's
is.
agonizing.
Okay.
I
Even
can't
just
stand
1
it.
year ago,
Yeah.
me, myself, I'm so disappointed.
Yeah.
I
Just like,
look
that was
back a year
me.
and I was
Yeah.
happy where I was, I think.
I was happy then, but like the
I'm still
progress,
happy with where I
the
was.
progress I made.
You look
I
better
think-
too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at it as progress. Don't
Yeah,
look
like
at it as
progress.
like, oh god, I was a piece of shit. And that's it.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's
That's
like
what you do all the time.
look
yeah.
how far I've come.
That's
What?
like you last week.
Like,
I don't do shit.
Yeah.
I need to do shit.
Yeah, in high school you didn't do shit.
Oh god. Well, no, and even now.
Tell her about
He's
the thing.
so bad. Oh my god. Like he
Wait, what?
bitches at me about not doing anything. And
Hey,
I
I don't
work all
bitch
the-
at you.
You
I
bitched at me.
bitch
Oh my-
at myself vicariously through you. That's what I do. That's what
so
I
bad.
do.
We were sitting in a biology lecture because like our professor is like a piece of shit. And anyways,
Okay.
he's
He's alright.
I
he's
hope he
alright
doesn't
now. I
listen
did
to
see
this.
that muscle lecture.
was
It was
amazing.
pretty good.
He just
It was pretty
walks
good.
in right now.
I heard that.
How could you say that?
Anyways, we're sitting there and like Daniel's
Yeah.
typing in all caps on his laptop. Mind you, I can't see because I need glasses,
Yeah.
so that's why he's typing in all caps. But it sounds like he was yelling at me. He's like, Rebecca, get your fucking shit together. You need to fucking do something with your life, you fucking lazy piece of shit. And I'm like, Daniel, why are you yelling at me? He's like, I'm not yelling at you. You just can't read.
Okay, now you made it sound horrible.
That's horrible.
Bored and joking.
I was bored of joking, so I was
I
being
was bored
serious.
and joking.
Remember, did you tell her about the times we were bored in math class? What we would do?
Oh god, what would we
What did
do?
you do?
I don't
There's
know.
something
We
we
like-
had like a hole we put things in.
Oh my god, yo! Okay, so you know those
Vagina?
ports with like the Ethernet cables
Yeah,
and
but
stuff?
Yeah.
There was one that was like hollowed out.
No, I kicked it open. I broke
You
it.
you broke it, yeah.
I was like on the wall, right? And I kicked it, and it broke open.
So then afterwards we were like, yo, why don't we just like put shit in there? And we kept like feeling around like, holy shit, this goes on forever. And we would just put pencil after
We
pencil.
break it in half. Put it in. Every class we would put shit in there. Like near the end of the like school year, things would start falling out. Like one time, a metal rod came out. I
We
was
didn't
like,
even know.
Why does
come
this
from?
sound like okay? Why does this sound like when?
Portal?
Okay, when we were in my grade 10 gym class, we were doing the health unit, and we were talking about whether or not women should technically be using tampons or pads. And then she's like,
I
oh,
can see where this
tampons all the
came.
way, because like it's not actually a black hole up there. Things don't get lost. They don't get stuck. And like all of a sudden you're telling me shit's falling out of this black hole, and I'm like, oh god.
Apparently you can get stuck.
falls out.
No,
Stick it-
that thing just kept going. It was, like every class, I would like get excited, like, oh man, we have a new thing to put in, and I just be like,
Oh yeah, if someone would leave their pencil behind, we would be so happy because we had to put it in the hole.
that was every math class. And then we would do the eraser.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna bring that up. We used to have like erasers, right? And we would throw it over our shoulders to try to get in the bag. Like,
Or
'cause
no,
we
our
sat
hoods,
against-
our hoods.
Oh yeah, in our hoods, right? We sat against the wall, right?
Yeah,
So,
it was like him, and then like I was beside him, so we'd just be like, whoop, and try and go boom, boom.
yeah. So we would do this, like do it really high. I don't know how like Ferguson never saw this.
Oh man, we were right in front of him. Like we were in his vision like that.
Yeah.
And we would just be like,
Throw
boom.
it. I was like, hey damn, hey damn.
Yeah, hey, dude, boom.
Look at this, look at this.
Watch this, hey, check this out.
Check
All
this out.
class.
Martin was there too.
Yeah, and then we would try to throw
lover.
erasers as close to the ceiling as possible.
Oh
without
yeah, I
hitting it.
remember that one time you
Oh
did it.
god, no.
And
my-
I just like, all right, I'm gonna do this. It was like, boom! And then
that's not even
Ferguson didn't even look. Like,
okay. No, that's not even half as bad as my grade 12 calculus class. Literally everyone I knew was in that class because the way my school worked was it was so tiny. Like, okay, there were a
School
lot of
sounds
people,
like
but
such a piece of shit.
it was. So literally everyone you had was in the same rotation as you. So if you had calculus like first period,
Yeah.
whoever was in your first period calculus would be in your third period biology and your fourth period
Yeah.
chemistry because
Yeah.
literally
Just
they
like
could not
elementary
mix
school, right?
they could
Pretty
not
much.
mix it up enough. It was terrible. But it wasn't even that. Like there were like groups of people and they would just rotate them through all at once. So like there were a lot of people in our grade. It was kind of like they were subdivided into a class, kind of like elementary school, I guess you could put it. It's really weird. So anyways, everybody I knew was in my fourth period calculus, which was a really rare occurrence because they weren't people that were from my typical group of people, right?
Yeah.
So we're all sitting there and we're like, yo, let's play shoe golf. Have
Yo.
you guys ever seen shoe golf on Jimmy Fallon?
Shoe golf.
What you do?
Okay.
On.
For people who can't
People
like,
who
see
don't
this,
actually see, but what
I'll
we
narrate.
did- Hold on. Okay. So
She is
what-
struggling
Morgan
taking
Freeman
off her
voice.
shoe.
Morgan Freeman voice.
Okay.
She is struggling taking off her shoe.
she is struggling.
Okay.
She will not make the journey if she continues
So
to
what
struggle
you're
as
supposed
she
to do
is.
You're supposed to set up like a target.
She
so,
is
like,
explaining.
So you can actually
She is
hit
expanding her
and
arms
grab.
and now contracting.
Can you stop? Okay.
I cannot stop.
So like, you have, like, it's basically like a golf course, except like instead of like a little ball, it's like it'll fit your shoe. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to stand there and like you're supposed to aim for whatever hole it is, and then you do this.
So she just
You
kicked
kick
off
your
her
shoe
shoe
off,
and
and
it
then you
flew
go over
across
your
the room
shoe,
like
you
a
put it back on.
albatross.
Put your shoe back on, and then you kick it closer to the hole. And essentially, it's exactly like golf
In the
course.
classroom.
So we had really low ceilings at my school because we lived.
I know where
We
this
were
is
like
going.
shit school.
I know where
So
this
what
is
did we
going.
do? We're like in the middle of class because we're all a
Giant
bunch of like
orgy.
we're fucking retards. So we're like, let's play shoe golf. So we do, and we kick out 4 ceiling tiles and a light.
Or not even like after the first
Four.
one. Stop.
all right, we're not gonna do it again. We're not gonna do it again.
No,
Oh, shit, there
and like,
goes the
okay,
ceiling.
okay, you know my friend James, right? He was the one that knocked
Wait,
out
wait.
the light, and
Wait,
our
at
teacher
once?
finally.
with one strike.
It's just one shoe, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it was a lot of force because he's like, I'm gonna get it in one
Oh,
shot,
shit.
but he was aiming too high, right? So all the power went up into the ceiling and smashed one of the lights in. And my
went
teacher's
out.
like, okay, that's officially enough. And we're like, you couldn't have said that after like the first ceiling tile. You just let us keep going, miss. This is your fault.
Wait, where's the teacher?
The teacher actually knew. And, like,
She was there the whole time. I was like, miss, watch us play shoe golf.
I remember Eric would tell me like he used to do like push-ups against the wall and on desk in class. And then like he'd like fall off the desk one time and then the teacher didn't even care.
What class was this?
I
do you-
don't know.
Do you remember that time the kid? I don't know who it was, but he was like leaning on his chair.
Oh, it was Kevin.
Yeah, and then he
He's
like
holding his desk.
Like sometimes when people fall back, right? They usually just fall off their chair, right? He was holding his desk, so it falls. The table falls all over on top of himself. He's just like boom.
Oh god. Yeah. We had some weird teachers at my school. Like they didn't
Apparently.
even care what the fuck you did.
Oh,
One
man.
of them, my
We had
favorite.
some.
Okay, so this is my advanced functions teacher. His name is Mr. M. And anyways,
Okay.
Mr. M is the fucking
M,
weirdest
yeah.
guy I've ever met. Like he's totally jokes. He's like the coolest guy ever, but like he's so weird. He lived in in India for the longest time. He went to the top
weird
prep
enough.
school there on scholarship, right? Anyways, he speaks like a bajillion different languages. And he's an engineering guy who retired and decided to be a high school math teacher because his job was just too demanding and he wanted more time with his wife and kids. So, he's a little eccentric because most engineers are, right?
Thanks.
Yeah, future eccentric right here.
Anyways, so we're sitting there in class and all of a sudden he starts telling us this story about how this one time he got lost in a desert in Pakistan. And he got lost for 6 days. And he's like, I was sitting there was nothing to drink, there was no food, and I did not know where I was going. And we're like, sir, how are you still alive at this point in time? And he's like, it's a very funny story. This guy came in the middle of the desert with his camel, and he came and picked me up,
carpet.
and he took me back to the city. And I went to go and see my wife. And my wife started screaming because she thought there was a strange man in the house. And I'm like, sir, why? And he's like, because I lost so much weight over those 6 days, like just from all the dehydration, that she didn't know who I was. And I'm just like, are you serious? And of course, his wife is at one of the school functions with him, like one of the band concerts. And I asked her if this is true, and she's like, yes, it was true. And she's like, I also don't let him wear cowboy hats for the same reason. I'm like, what? She's like, he looks like a Mexican. And I'm like, what? So anyways, like, this is like 2 weeks later after she mentions this. One of the girls in my class was wearing a cowboy hat, and he's just like, oh, give that here, and he puts it on, and he's like, see, Rebecca, wasn't my wife right? I look like a Mexican. And I'm just like, sir, take that off, you look so Mexican right now. And he proceeds to keep telling us these weird stories. There was another one about how at his school he was really good at wrestling, and like, this guy is like legitimately this tall. He's the shortest guy I've ever seen in my entire life, okay? And he's telling me that he was going to be an Olympic wrestler for Pakistan.
Hey man, I can see it.
Yeah,
in this weight division.
It's weight division.
Yeah, I just couldn't see it because this guy's like short and fat and he looks like a cute little teddy bear.
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
stocky.
Yeah, if he's got enough mass, it's all good.
I'm just sitting there. I'm like, sir, I don't believe this. He's like,
calorie.
you don't believe me? He's like, does anybody else not believe me? And everybody's like, sir, like, that's ridiculous. Like, you're so overweight.
Flip someone
What did he do? He opened the door in the hallway. He's like, Mr. Fernandez, come here. So Mr. Fernandez comes here. Mind you, he's like a 6'2" black guy, like really muscular. He takes him, flips him onto the floor, and he's like, you don't believe me now? And I'm like, what the fuck? This is supposed to be a math class.
Wait, put him through a table?
Awesome.
He flipped him on the floor. And we're all just sitting here, and we're like, oh my god, what just happened?
Chair.
Like, this is ridiculous.
I'm going for the belt. Holy fuck.
And like, this guy is crazy. And like, one day it was my birthday, right? And like, everybody was gone to the university fair, and I didn't go because I was going on the Saturday instead of the Friday, but everybody skipped. And there was like 6 people in my math class, and he finds out it's my birthday. He's like, oh, like, what are your plans for the night? I'm like, oh, like, I'm just hanging out with my family or whatever. Like, we bought an ice cream cake, and he's like, oh. And I'm like, what? And he's like, I really want an ice cream cake. And I'm just like, oh, that's nice, sir. He's like, oh, just a second. He pulls out like a $20 bill out of his pocket. He's like, does anybody in here have a truck? And this guy, Eric Bryden's just like, oh, yeah, I have a truck. So he's just like, here, $20. You and Miriam, you guys go to Dairy Queen and you buy us a
Was she like 60 years old?
Miriam.
No, okay. Miriam is like the most gorgeous woman I've ever seen. Other than Zobeida, I would also be gay for her because she is honestly so fucking attractive. Anyways, so
wait, but she's old, right?
no, she's the same age as me. And her name's Miriam. She's really nice. Anyways,
I gotta
besides
say
the point.
she's old.
So
Makes
anyways, he
this
gives them
story
$20, and Eric and Miriam go
never
down to
come
Dairy
back.
Queen, and they go and get an ice cream cake, right? So they're on their way over, and Mr. M's sitting there, and he's just like, oh, we need something to cut the cake with. He's like, Rebecca, you and who went with me?
You and Andy.
Danielle. So
Ricky.
he's like, you and Danielle, you guys go down to the kitchen and you ask my friend there, my friend, you go ask her for one of the knives. And I'm just like, okay. And anyways, we go down there and we ask ask, we're just like, hey, Mr. M sent us down here to get a knife for cake cutting because it's my birthday. And she's like, oh, what did you pull up this fucking huge sword? Like, I swear to God, okay.
A samurai sword.
It looked like a fucking samurai sword.
Is your school in the Pulp Fiction universe? Like,
Is this even a school?
I don't know. Okay. Anyways, it gets better. So I'm sitting
go
there.
to
I'm like,
Pacific Mall.
I'm like, do you
She's
have
like, I've never
anything
been to Pacific
smaller?
Mall.
And she's just like, oh no. Well, if Mr. M's asking for the knife, this is the one I usually give him. I'm like, why do you give him a knife this big? It's taller
all
than
the time,
he
he's
is.
just like, yeah, I need a knife again.
Yeah, I don't even understand that.
Give him
Peanut
So
butter
anyways,
jelly.
we're like, okay, thanks. So we get a couple of plates from like the cooking class and like a couple of forks and whatever, and we go back upstairs and we have like this huge ass sword. And Mr. M is just like, oh yeah, that's my knife. And anyways, we're like, sir, I don't even want to know what you're using that for, okay? And he's like, oh well, sometimes I need to cut my vegetables that I bring. And I'm just like, I'm like, all right, sir. So we're sitting there. We start trying to solve these
Like a
Rubik's
sword
cubes
solver.
that he has in the room because he's like, if you're good at math, you can solve a Rubik's cube. So we're
God,
trying
I
to
would
solve
fail.
these. I can actually solve a Rubik's cube. I'm pretty
for
good
you.
at it. Like I did it
can't.
once. I did
I
it
could do
once. I've never been able to do it again, but I did it once, and I
can do it
I
every
constitute
minute.
myself as pretty good because I've actually been able to
Yeah,
solve
that's
it.
more than one.
So anyways, we're sitting there, and then it's been like half an hour since we sent like
This is
Eric
the
and
reason I have
Miriam
a
out to go and get
podcast,
this
to
cake,
brag
right?
about my
And we're
achievements.
like, we're sitting there, and we're like, oh my fucking god,
Rubik's
like
Cube.
what happened to them? What if they got into an accident? Because it's
I could
illegal
bench
to
over
send them out of the
150 pounds.
school, right? And my future calculus teacher, Miss D, is just like, she's just like, what's going on in here? And we're like, oh, we
I'm
sent
7
somebody to
inches.
go and get cake for Rebecca's birthday.
gonna
She's
say-
like, she's like,
I brag
Mr.
about
M, you
stuff.
do realize it's illegal, right? And he starts
brag.
panicking because they haven't come back, and like he's freaking
I
out.
can
And
speak
then
3 different
they
languages.
come back into the room, like they
All
finally
language.
get back, and he's like,
All
oh
language.
good, what took you guys so long? I was so worried. And they're like, oh, we got into an accident with this guy, and like. We had to like fill out a report and
I've
everything,
never had STDs.
and go to the police station, and we had to explain why we weren't in school, and we had to tell him about this cake, and he's like freaking out, and all of a sudden they're like, "Lols, just kidding, sir. We wanted to freak you out because like that was totally illegal what you just made us do." And he's like, "Oh, good. I'm never doing this again. Not for anyone. Rebecca, you're lucky." So, anyways, we're like, okay, so we should probably.
Okay, so is this just gonna like keep going until like that?
Second half of the podcast. Second half of this podcast is
We'll
public.
be here
No,
with 3 more
almost done.
hours.
So anyways, we're like, okay, well, we gotta cut Miss D a piece of cake because we gotta keep
Gotta
it
cut it.
alive.
This is
still a
I want to learn something from this story now.
This is
okay?
important. We
I-
cut her a piece of cake.
Cut her a piece of cake
I've
to shut her up.
invested myself
we're-
in this now. Like
we're
this
all
better
sitting
pay
there.
off. I better be crying by the
There
end
are
of this.
there are pictures of me cutting a cake with a samurai sword.
I have a 35-inch
Fantastic.
vertical.
Okay.
Is that the point?
Is that the moral of the story?
The moral of the story is don't fucking send
I
teenage
can juggle
kids
3
out on
balls
the
at
road
once.
to go and get an ice cream cake just because your teacher wants it.
Okay.
I would just take stuff
Yeah.
I brag about.
So anyways, I cut the cake with a giant samurai sword. We shut up 2 teachers, did something completely illegal.
I've
and
never watched Doctor Who.
What?
Oh.
Just stuff I brag
Shit's
about.
about to get real.
That's Doctor
I don't
Who.
know. It just seems like such hipster shit.
I've never
It is.
actually watched Doctor
Just
Who.
like it's like, I'm not a
Seems
big enough
more like
hipster
a-
to give
like
a
a-
shit.
Hmm?
I'm not a big enough hipster to give a shit. You know what I mean?
About
No, that just makes you more
about
hipster than
Dr.
the
Who.
Yeah,
average
that makes you
hipster.
more hipster. Yeah, I'm just too cool for this. You know, this is not hipster.
No, not even that, but there's like an actual cycle to like hipster stuff. Have I explained that to you?
No.
Okay, it's like when something's
This is
not
about
heard
cake.
of.
Is it about cake?
No.
I hope so.
No.
So
So, anyways, there's like when somebody doesn't hear of something or like something's really unheard of, the hipsters are all like flocking to it, right? And then when the hipsters
Flocking.
start flocking to it, people will
It
get
becomes
wind of it,
less
and then
and
it
less
becomes
hipster.
then it becomes mainstream, right? So then the hipsters will give that up, and then once everybody from the mainstream gets bored of it, it will.
They move to the next thing that the
Yeah,
hipsters
that was
move
But
to.
not
that was
even
the
that.
plot
The
of
hipsters have
Lion
already
King
moved on
1,
to something.
right?
So it's like a continual cycle. It keeps happening.
Yes.
But then there's,
That was
then
the
there's
plot
the
of Lion King
revival
1.
Remember
cycles,
when
right?
Mufasa died?
and it was like and then
That
Simba
was exactly this.
and then it was exactly this.
So then there's like, so it goes like unheard of, mainstream, death, and then there's the revival of it. The hipsters are like,
See?
oh yeah, do
The
you remember
Lion
this
King.
years
What I
ago?
tell you.
Yeah,
The Lion
so
King.
there's like the revival phase, and then after the revival phase, like it comes back to mainstream. So it's basically just a big, huge loop of hipsterisms and stuff.
Lube, yes. Lube.
Big,
Lube. I
big
did not
huge
say
loop.
lube.
Yeah,
I
I
did.
did.
Sure.
Sure.
I just pretend you did.
We'll rewind the tapes.
Hey, we don't know what sort of things I have done for cake in my life.
All right.
Oh, we would love to.
He's hungry.
As long as it doesn't take 3 hours.
Why is Alberto not here to order us pizza?
Who is Alberto?
He's,
Okay.
he's the guy with the 6 pairs of Beats headphones.
Oh, okay.
He's the
What?
douchebag. He's the douchebag rich guy. who's
At the
like-
same time?
At the
Yeah.
same-
Yeah, he wears 6.
It's like a
pairs.
body armor.
It's like the TF2 hats. Yeah.
There's all of them at the same time. In every orifice.
His ears. Wherever, man.
6?
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
it's-
lord.
Because
He's
there's
like a total
colors.
douche cake. Like, what did he tell me today?
Douche cake.
Rebecca?
Is there like a fetish here or something? Like, is there a
The only
Freudian
two
fixation?
words you've used
I
is
just-
cute and cake.
I
Those are
love
the only things I hear.
cake. Cake is so good.
Yes.
Okay,
There was this guy that once thought that, like, my kisses were currency. And he
What?
made, like,
Wait,
really
what?
good
What was
cake.
currency?
Kisses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway,
How
so...
old are you?
17.
Okay.
17.
That
Anyways,
makes
this
sense.
guy made fantastic chocolate cake. I'm not even kidding.
You are such a pragmatist.
Maybe you just bought it.
So
Yeah.
so anyways,
Just fucking
like
cake.
this guy was like really good at making cake, and he's like, and he told me one day, I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm making cake right now, and I'm like, oh, and you didn't save me any? He's like, well, if you kiss me, I'll give you cake.
Wow.
And I'm just like, well,
Whoa.
no fucking problem, because this guy is cute. See, there's the other word,
Okay.
right? There we go. So anyways, I did,
How
and
the
he gave
fuck
me a
you
piece of
talking
cake,
about
and then
cake
like for the
How the
rest
fuck
of
did we
the
get the cake
semester,
again?
every time he made cake, I
then
would
this
just
fucking
kiss
loop,
him, and
just
I would
like
get
the
him
hipsters.
cake.
Isn't this a form of prostitution?
You would do anything but fucking cake. You're just the opposite of a crack whore. You're just a cake whore.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you are. isn't it?
Oh,
My
man.
God.
But yeah, well, it was not my fault. This guy was
Well,
also
hey, I mean, if-
very
if it was-
attractive.
It wasn't your fault, really.
That this guy was attractive, just genetics, okay? And the fact that he's
Ironically, we're
really
gonna
good
have
at
a
making
fitness
cake,
podcast
and I
tomorrow.
love cake, and like it's a great
I
trait.
guess everything fell into order. But
Message
jeez.
to all the boys out there.
Be cute and make good cake.
Step one, cake. Step
No.
2, cake.
Step one is being cute, because like even if you make cake and you're not cute, that doesn't mean I'm not.
Oh, come on. You would like, like Hephaestus.
How about if it was really-
like the Greek fire god? He makes good shit. He's like the
thought
best
he was
blacksmith
Greek,
ever.
yeah,
but he's
cake.
an ugly motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know,
No.
you would go for the kind of Hephaestus kind of
Yeah.
guy. You know, he's so good at his
Hephaestus.
craft.
Doesn't that-
but you know, he has a broken leg.
Doesn't
and
that
he's
seem like an
ugly and,
STD? Hephaestus?
Hephaestus?
If you like, if it was growing on your
Hepatitis.
genitals.
Yeah, I got Hephaestus in
Yeah.
my pubes. Like, yeah, okay. But it's a lot worse than like Vulcan.
Or like stuffing for the
I could do
walls.
that, but
I got
like I
Zeus.
wouldn't do that off the bat. If he was like, hey, here's some cake, kiss me. and you
But
can
what
have
if it
some.
was no? What if he
No.
gave you the cake and then like you tried and you're like, this is the best thing I've ever fucking eaten. Like I need this in my life, and he was.
You're weak
Oh, I
minded.
would 100%.
You're
Like, the cake is worth
weak-minded. You
it.
need discipline.
Yes.
I mean, hey,
cake
if
is
it's,
worth it.
if it's good enough.
The cake is worth it.
I would
do
suck
it.
his dick.
Let me.
Yeah.
Whoa, I thought it was just kissing. If it's sucking your dick, that's a different story, man.
You have to give a lot of cake.
I mean, if it's good cake.
Whoa, so if you suck his dick, how many cakes does that net you?
One.
I
What
mean,
if you
it depends. Look, if it's a good enough cake, one fucking bite.
A cute
bite?
enough cake.
If it's a good enough fucking cake.
How about if it was a dick
Dude, you
cake?
missed it. We were talking about cake fucking again and dick sucking.
Like I'm talking, this cake is good to the point where it's
How about if it
drugs.
was? How about if it was a dick cake?
oh yeah, what if
dick
his dick
cake.
was just like pierced through the cake?
In the
Would you
cake.
still eat
Wait,
it?
no. What if his
No,
dick-
you can't use knife and
No,
fork.
no, no, no,
Your
no.
face
What
has to
if-
go all
What if sucking his dick
Was the cake?
What's the cake?
What
Would,
if-
would you do it? No, what if there
I
was
would
just
do it.
icing on his dick?
If the icing was good, if the
It was
icing,
his personal icing, if you know what I mean.
Angry.
It's like
Come.
That's what I was getting at. No, if the icing, like if sucking his dick, the experience of sucking his dick tasted like the best cake in the world, why wouldn't you? The best cake in the fucking world.
maybe
And like it's so
Dignity.
it's so
Dignity.
good that it changes your life. Like everything is meaningless. because that cake is so good.
I
would
wouldn't
suck-
do it.
Why
He
is
was
it
like,
whenever
why
you're
would
like
you
trying to
make it like
get
actual
something
cake?
to remind about something,
Why would
you're always
you
talking about what if it was so
He'd
fucking
suck a dick
good?
for
Well,
cake.
because
Like,
that's
for
what
cake.
that's what
Grapefruit
convinces
cake.
people. Something
can't-
that's
I
so
can wait for a
extraordinary.
bite of
That's not
cake.
realistic.
No, I
It's
changed
never
it.
gonna
He
happen,
said
but
he'd
that's
suck a
why
dick
I'm
for a
sad.
bite of the best cake in the goddamn
I'll never
world.
get a dick.
It's not that great. How good is cake? Let's be real.
Is your
It's
di-
good enough.
is your wallpaper cake?
Fuck cake.
No.
Hannibal.
She told you
It's
what
Hannibal.
it was. Were you listening?
Oh, it's still the same? Fuck.
Shit.
Okay, have you guys ever heard of the anime
We're
Tokyo
watching
Mew Mew?
this. I think.
Yes.
Nope.
You know how that
Yeah,
girl
we're still
worked
talking
in the
about fucking
cafe
cake.
and they had all those cakes in there? I wanted to be her.
I thought you wanted to be the cake.
her.
When I grow up, I want to be a cake.
I wish
I would
was
have no problem jumping out of a what
Giant cake.
if like
Okay.
I got to eat it.
Okay.
What?
Wait, so you
so
would
have you ever
Stop
made
talking about
cake?
cake.
Oh,
Switch the
oh,
subject.
so-
Switch the
so-
subject quickly.
So you would-
Dicks.
I wanted to say though, would you be willing to be like the stripper in a cake?
Yes.
Wow.
As long as I
dude,
got to
I
eat
would
it.
love to do that.
You can make
Does that not seem like so much fun? Like I don't even care if people think it's like demoralizing
What's
women. Who would not want to fucking
remember-
pop out of a
isn't that
cake?
an
Remember the
event?
Wait,
Mr. Burns.
Happy birthday, Mr. Smithers.
He's wearing like a sash.
What?
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that? Do you watch
About
that?
that?
No, I thought we went over that. I don't know.
Yo, did you hear about that?
I think you're gonna have to
Yeah.
leave.
Did you hear about that? Did you hear about
I
that
think
story?
our time is up.
Yeah, it was.
Wanna get
it
going?
was-
No,
it was
we-
coming
we still got. Okay, well,
Okay.
okay. Let's end it on a high note.
Dicks.
Favorite kind of cake?
Dick.
Go.
Dick.
Okay,
cake.
like the richest chocolate cake. Like
Can you
just chocolate
fucking
mousse.
say a flavor?
Say a fucking
Holy
chocolate
shit.
mousse, like really rich fucking chocolate
Mousse
mousse.
cake.
Musa.
All right, favorite cake.
Lemon.
Oh man, that was quick. Favorite cake. How did that happen?
Ice cream Oreo.
Ice cream Oreo. Favorite cake.
Ice cream.
It's not a real cake, man.
Ice
Well,
cream.
Why
It is
not?
Close fucking enough. Favorite cake.
Whatever cake he has at his parties.
Ice cream cakes.
Ice
cream cake.
Ice cream
Ice
cakes.
cream cake.
Ice cream cakes. All right, my favorite cake.
Dick.
Velvet.
Okay.
A red
Like-
velvet.
like
Red
velvet?
velvet.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh god,
So
man,
good.
that stuff is so good. Okay,
never
my friend
tried it.
James, his older sister,
Wait.
Grace.
Okay, so now we're talking about
Wrap
cake
this
again.
up. It's over.
You need to wrap this
Okay,
up.
all right.
Goodbye, bitches.
Okay, shoo shoo. Shoo shoo.